Do you know how many children she had?
I'm sorry. Just
okay.
Sure.
I want to make sure I'm not asking. I don't know how many children you have, okay?
5 in total.
5 in total. Yep, that's what I want to know. Okay.
All living at the house with you guys?
I'm sorry. These are just...
Sure.
I know. These questions are hard. It's because a lot of the questions we're asking is because we, one, don't know, or we need to make sure we have the right correct information if we do have some of this information, okay? Because if we're wrong, we want to be corrected. And I know it's tough.
I just never thought at 26 I would be talking to police about my son being dead. Because of his friggin' dad. His name was Judah. J-U-D-A-H.
Does he have a middle name?
His middle name was Marshall.
Marshall. And last
2
name?
L's.
Okay. Last name Morgan, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Date of birth?
6/17/17.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
and then his last name is also Morgan.
Okay. And his date of birth?
19.
19?
Yes, ma'am.
And then... Okay. And Morgan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want his name to be that anymore.
What's his date of birth?
Of 2020.
Okay. You just had, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you spell that? Is he going to have a middle name? And his date of birth, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
10?
Same as Dexter.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so it's been a freaking weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Does he have a middle name? I didn't catch it. It's okay.
My God, his teachers. Jesus.
Okay. Okay, so we have 5 total, and then Judah all lived with you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have they all lived with you throughout their entire lives?
Has mostly.
Okay.
And then for 4 years, I fought with DCS
Okay.
because they thought that Alan was what apparently he is.
Okay.
And I fought and fought and fought and fought to bring him home.
Okay.
And everything was good for a while.
Has he always lived with you too?
No. He, so I had him, I'm sorry, my lips are like super dry. And
Go
it's
ahead. You
like,
can use a paper towel if you need to. And help yourself to your Sprite as well.
shit. Would I be able to let him know that I'm like,
Who's trying to contact
that's my
you?
attorney for my mom's court stuff?
I would just let it go to voicemail
Okay.
for now. Because the sooner we can go through this, Mary, the quicker you can get to doing some of the other things that, that need to be completed today too. And we want to get you back to, what you need to get done.
Okay. You were explaining about.
So when I had him when I was young, so I wasn't exactly like there for him. So he, like, I lived with my mom, but like she was the main caretaker of him.
Okay.
And then I started dating Alan, and he stopped me from partying and stuff.
Okay.
And then my mom never liked him, and she called DCS.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of that for 3.5, 4 years.
Okay. So for 3.5, 4 years, did they have then DCS?
Yes.
Or your mom did?
My mom had him for like 3 years.
3 years. Okay. Okay.
And then he was removed from her house.
Okay. Who had Judah before you were?
Gina. That's Alan's cousin.
Gina? What's her name? Last name?
Hullett. Hullett, I think.
Lutt, you said?
I think so.
Where does she live at?
In like North Judson or something. Or San Pierre. Actually, I don't know because I think they lost their house, so I don't know.
Okay. Were you able to see him while they had him?
Yeah, because I had the visits and stuff.
Okay. Did Alan ever have visits with Judah?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they all supervised visits with him?
It started off that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of like progressively transitioned into like the home visits and stuff.
Okay. Did Alan ever go and try to help you fight for Judah back? Because you said you were fighting hard for him back. Did Alan help you?
He worked a lot, and he kind of doesn't talk really.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like, when it came to like anything important, I was always the one to do it. Like any phone calls that needed to be made, any doctor's appointments that needed to be made,
Mm-hmm.
like anything like that, I was, kind of responsible. Like all the court dates for DCS, I was the one that went because most of the time he was at work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess he fought in his own way,
Mm-hmm.
but, he kind of just ended up snapping off on DCS.
Okay.
Every time he did talk to them, and so I kind of just handled everything. Excuse me. I handled everything myself.
Okay.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You said he was always working. What was his?
He was a roofer.
Job? Where was he working?
A few different places.
Okay. All in LaPorte County, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he was working at RL for a little while, and like that ended in like 2018, I think. And then, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you're tired.
But then like he started doing like odd jobs and stuff because he didn't have like a legitimate job, I guess, anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Does he still currently work then? Has he worked the last couple days, or?
No, because I've been in the hospital, so he was home with the kids.
Okay. Did he drop you off at the hospital? Is that how you got there?
No. Morgan had came to pick me up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is that Morgan Fulton?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And Morgan's is that a very close friend, best friend?
We're pretty close, I would say. I mean, I considered adopting my son to her, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, what's the history? How long have you and Alan been together?
Since September 15th of 2016.
How's the relationship been with him?
At first it was good. The first couple months. And then we lost our apartment. And we started staying with his mom. Found out I was pregnant with Judah. And I don't know, I mean, it kind of went downhill pretty quick once we lost the house.
Is that due to anger issues, substance abuse?
The only thing that either of us have ever done is smoke weed. So it's not like he was on like drugs or anything, but he wasn't always the nicest, I guess.
What do you mean by that?
God, I'm so sorry. He would say some pretty hurtful things. And he had done some things to me that I should have said something about, and I didn't, because I loved him. So, I mean, there was good times, you know? Like, we were together for 6 years. So it wasn't all bad, you know? Like, there was some really good times, too. But he... Like, before the kids came home, like, it was really bad because there was no kids to watch everything. I can't talk right now. So sometimes I got hurt. And I didn't know if it was gonna end. And I was scared. But I didn't say anything because I didn't want him to, because I knew even if I said something, he would go to jail for a little bit and then he would get bonded out. And then I'd probably get my ass beat for saying something. So I just didn't. I mean, I told a couple friends what happened, you know, and they told me to say something, and I just didn't.
Sometimes love can be a very powerful emotion that can maybe cloud what would be our logical reasoning.
But that doesn't make anything okay.
No, it doesn't.
Like, there was definitely times where I thought I was gonna die. But I loved him, so oh no. That's Gina. I feel like I need to answer that. Like, she needs to know.
We will take care of it after
We'll take care of it, yeah.
Can I just say I'll call you back, like,
No.
with a text?
No. No.
In fact, can we just set the phone, turn it over, set it over here,
That
so.
way you're not distracted. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
This
okay.
is just like, everything's just
I know.
really overwhelming right now.
I know. We will deal with one thing at a time, because the more we deal with at once, the more you're going to be overwhelmed, okay? So that's why we're trying to cut it down to one thing at a time for you. It'll definitely help you relax a little bit more too, okay?
Okay.
What kind of things would he do to you that you thought you were going to die?
Choke me out. There was a time that he thought I was trying to cheat on him when I wasn't. But somebody that was mad at me told him that I was trying to talk to another guy. And he hit my legs really hard. And it was hard to put pants on because my legs were so bruised up. And he used to have a really big issue with self-harm. And there was a time that I tried to hurt myself, and he tried to choke me out. Like every time, instead of trying to like help me and be there for me, most of the time the reason why I felt like that was because of him anyway. But instead of, you know, trying to like help me, he just called me stupid and selfish and said I didn't love my kids, because if I loved my kids I wouldn't want to die. And then I remember most of the time I would always tell him, well, if it weren't for the way that you treat me, I wouldn't want to. So there was a lot of that. He hasn't touched me in a while. I think it's been some time.
Like months or
Yeah.
a year, or
Not since I've been pregnant with Cohen,
so at least 9 months.
at least.
You went full term.
Well, technically, yes. He was due on the 13th. So, I mean, it's been a while, but it's...
Would he still say things to you?
Oh, yeah, every day.
What kind of things would he say to you?
So I'm at home with the kids all day by myself, and it's really hard, you know, because, you know, especially when Micah wasn't home, because he could, like, play with all the younger kids, and it was really helpful, you know. And I'm not gonna say, like, I was the best mom. Like, yeah, you know, like, there was times where, like, my kids were, like, being nuts, or the youngest two were crying, and I'd be like, shut the hell up, you know. So, like, I would, and he would always hold that over my head and tell me that I didn't do shit all day. And it really hurt, because every time I've been pregnant, I busted my ass to work and clean the house and take care of the kids and do everything I can to, like, try and be perfect for him, because I just wanted him to love me the way that I loved him. And I feel like deep down I always knew he never would, because I don't think he can love somebody the way that I want him to, I guess, like, or the way that normal people love somebody, you know.
Why do you think that is? What gives you that intuition, that feeling?
Because all he ever wanted from me was sex. or to, you know, like sometimes he was nice to me. You know, like there was times that like he couldn't be up at the hospital with me because we didn't have anyone else to watch the kids. So I was, you know, Morgan was there with me the whole time. But I was really struggling with the fact that he wasn't there, because as much as like we had a really shitty relationship a lot of the time, I still loved him, you know, and it really hurt that he wasn't able to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I showed Morgan one of the messages he had sent me, and I told her it was probably the nicest thing that I had ever said to me.
What were some of the bad things he would say to you?
Call me lazy all the time. Tell me I don't do shit all day. I'm a stupid bitch. I'm a shitty mom because I'm depressed. I'm a shitty mom because I have told the kids to shut the hell up. Or that I walk outside and take a breather when I am getting stressed out. But I should just be dealing with it, because that's my job as a mom, is to just suck it up and deal with it. I wasn't allowed to, like, any guy that I had ever been friends with, I wasn't allowed to be friends with him, because he automatically thought that I was trying to do stuff with them, or vice versa, which is not the case, because he's the only person I wanted to be with. But that wasn't the case for him, and I know it wasn't. He can say it was, but it wasn't, and I had proof that it wasn't, you know.
So when you say that, do you think he was cheating on you?
I don't think like he had physically cheated on me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would. I don't know, but it would like online a lot, like like Snapchat, like buying pictures and stuff of girls and whatnot on Snapchat and stuff, and that really hurt because I was pregnant, so I was really self-conscious as it was.
Yeah. When it comes to the physical stuff, other than just choking you, what else would he do?
He'd punch me, poke me really hard.
And how often would that happen?
I mean, it wasn't like a, you know, like once a week, twice a week thing. Like it just it all really depended on his mood, you know, like if he had a bad day at work, if he didn't have any weed, because literally like weed was the only thing that kept him calm. And he didn't have any this weekend.
So if he wasn't calm, his demeanor was violent?
Not always violent, but like he was kind of just an ass. Like he was just mean, you know, like he was just very impatient with stuff. Or like if I would ask him a question, why the fuck would you ask a stupid question like that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I was just asking him a question, like, I'm sorry. He's like, well, don't ask dumb questions.
Mm.
And I'm like, stuff like that made me just feel just really stupid, because a lot of times like he would do that in front of like the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that really bothered me, because I don't want my kids to see that, and I don't want my sons to grow up and be like him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all boys, and like there was times where like we would get into an argument and he would call and be like, didn't your mom say this? Or, you know, something like, if I thought I had forgot, like if I had forgotten something or something, like he would call and be like, didn't your mom say this? Or didn't she do this or forget to do this or whatever? And I was like, don't bring him into this. He doesn't need to be a part of our arguments. Like, that's not fair to him. He's 7 years old, and he'd be like, just shut up then. Like, stop trying to turn everything into an argument. Like, I just want to know what's going on. Like, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you.
Would there ever be times you had normal conversations?
Yeah.
But most of the time it was him being...
I mean, I wouldn't say most of the time at all. You know, it was kind of like, I wouldn't say half and half either.
Just depended on his mood then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did he treat the kids?
Well, I mean, usually it was great, you know, like for a really, honestly, like it started, like, well, he started getting frustrated like a couple months ago because, so Gina had came over and Judah had climbed in her car and took her keys out of the ignition and took off. Like, he had gotten out the car and like ran off with them. And I was like, that's not okay. You can't be encouraging him to steal keys out of the ignition of a car. And I got really irritated, and I kind of started just ignoring them. Well, when Gina and Phil stopped coming over, Judah started acting up, and he started like peeing himself and pooping his pants, and he was fully potty trained, so it was frustrating, you know. And then he started ignoring Alan, which is what really pissed him off. And I guess the last couple weeks, he was just, I guess, fed up with it. And since he was ignoring people, he would send Judah downstairs. And a lot of times he would hit him, and I would go down there and try and tell him to stop. And he would just back up, go away. And I would tell him, like, you need to quit, dude. Like, you need to stop. Like, this shit's not okay. Like, you need to stop. He was like, just shut the fuck up and go upstairs. And then there was times where I would get frustrated, and I would tell Judah, like, please, can you please just stop ignoring him, please, so he will stop getting mad. Because I didn't know what to do. Because I was scared that, you know, if I intervened too much, maybe, that I would be down there too. So sometimes I just didn't say anything, because I knew that he would come back at me.
How often would this happen to Judah?
Like, probably every other day for the last, like, couple weeks. I mean, there's a couple days where he started behaving, like, really, really well. He was awesome. And he didn't pee or poop or anything. He was going to the bathroom like he was supposed to, and, you know. And then the rule is, like, if you're in trouble, like, if you're not following rules, we're not going to give you, like, sweets or, like, Hawaiian punch and stuff. And the other kids got Hawaiian punch because he had an accident. And he started doing it again, like doing the ignoring people stuff, and he got mad. And he basically just kept him downstairs, and then he would bring him upstairs, have him try and go to the bathroom, and if he refused to go to the bathroom, which he did a lot, or just ignored him, he would take him back downstairs and just kind of have him sit down there.
What's down in that basement?
All kinds of shit, just random shit. We never, until he started going down there, we never really went down there because it was the landlord's stuff, so he kind of just...
So it's not like a living area or anything like that?
There's just a bunch of random shit down there.
And when you would hit Judah, where and how much would he?
Sometimes I didn't see, because sometimes I wasn't down there. Like, sometimes he would go downstairs and I would be, like, upstairs with the other kids, and I wouldn't really know where Alan went until I heard and then I would assume that he was downstairs, and I would open the door and try and tell him that's enough, and he wouldn't listen to me, and I would go downstairs and try and stop him, and he didn't. Sometimes he would stop, sometimes he wouldn't.
For how long would this happen every time he would go down?
A couple minutes.
Would Alan come back up and leave Judah down there?
If he didn't want to go to the bathroom, yeah, he would keep him down there. Or if he would ignore Alan when he was asking him questions.
How many times a day would this happen?
Once or twice, maybe. Usually only once, but...
And for a couple minutes at a time? Would it last longer than a couple minutes?
Not usually, because I got, I couldn't handle it. And I'd go down there and be like, okay, come on, dude, this shit's ridiculous. Like, you need to fucking stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was scary.
Where would he hit him at?
His arms, his legs, his back, his chest, pretty much wherever. Sometimes he'd kick him. Sometimes he'd choke him. And there was so many times that I tried to pull his hands off of him, or... It's like when he got like that, like he couldn't control himself. And it was scary because, like, I was pregnant and I was trying to, like, stop him. And there was, like, a couple times where he went to try and hit him and he almost hit me in my stomach, so I just kind of backed up. And I told him to stop, but he just...
Would he be standing,
No.
or sitting in a chair, or laying down? Or, I'm sorry, Judah, would he be laying down? Would he be sitting in a chair?
It kind of depended. Like, there's no chairs down there, so he was either standing up talking to him or sitting down.
Judah would be?
Yes.
Standing up or
Sitting down.
Sitting down on the floor?
Yeah. And Alan, when he was really frustrated with him, he would make him sleep downstairs.
Was there a bed down there?
There wasn't a bed, but there was like a fluffy blanket that we had
That he would lay on?
Yeah. It was probably like the softest one I could find. It was like a Sherpa blanket. But...
And Alan would make Judah sleep down there if he was really frustrated with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know that it bothered because he could hear it. And there was a couple times where I just kind of grabbed and tried to like cover his ears, and because I tried to do something and he wasn't gonna stop, and I was too scared to like try and intervene because I didn't want him to accidentally like hurt my unborn child, And I know I should have said something.
But did Alan, why did you not say anything?
Because I knew he would try and hurt me.
Would he say that too to you?
I mean, he had.
What would he say?
he said, well, you know that if you say anything, you're going to lose all your kids and you're never going to see them again. So I would suggest you just keep your stupid mouth shut.
Would Alan threaten you or any of the other children?
Not the kids, no, but me all the time.
Would he threaten you about this incident or these incidents with Judah?
Not like directly, no, but it was more of like the generalized thing. Like I just said, like with the, like if you say anything, you're going to lose all your kids and you're not going to have a house and you're not going to have shit. And that's, I feel like, honestly, why I didn't, because he was all I had, you know. Him and my kids were, I don't really have friends like that, you know, like me and my family don't really get along.
And you guys don't get along because of Alan? Or did you get along?
I mean, me and my mom have always had a really shitty relationship. But ever since I was with Alan, it's been worse.
Would Alan do this same thing that he would do to Judah, to any of the other children?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think he just did it just to do Judah?
I honestly couldn't tell you, because if it was like a few months ago, like anyone would say that they were like the closest, you know. Judah was like his little mini me.
So outside of disciplining Judah and taking him downstairs and hurting him, he was close with Judah?
He was.
What were they? Why would you say he was closer with Judah than the other children as a mini-me?
I don't... See, Alan never really talked about how he felt. So, it's hard to really say.
Okay.
Because he was not like an emotional person. He didn't talk about like anything, you know, like when it came to emotions and how he feels, he doesn't, like, that's not how he is. He wants to be tough, you know. He doesn't want to come off as a pussy, I guess, you know.
Would he always, in his emotions, from what you observed, what were his emotions most of the time? Were they mostly anger and losing his temper?
It was like,
or were they? Was he happy, or it just kind of?
It just kind of depends. Like, and honestly, like, he never like drank. Like, he didn't drink at all, so he wasn't like an alcoholic. But like, weed was literally the only thing that kept him even slightly okay. Okay, you know. And when we got to the point where we were broke, and we couldn't get anything, you know, he kind of started to get frustrated because he was stressing out because he didn't have any weed. And I mean, like, I understand to an extent because it helps me too. But at the same time, it's like, I don't like go nuts because I don't have weed. Like, it sucks because, you know, I mean, it helps with my depression and anxiety and stuff.
When did it start that you said broke? When did it start that it was getting difficult to start buying weed?
I mean, it happened like every once in a while, like whenever we ran out of money.
Okay.
Or like, so he had gotten in trouble in August because he decided he wanted to drive my car without a license. And he was in a police chase for like 20 minutes. And it was because he had weed on him and he didn't want to go to jail. Which my car got totaled, and it didn't really make sense to me. Like, either way, you were going to go to jail. You had weed in the car, so you should have just stopped. And, you know, it was a joke to him, you know, like, that I feel like, because he got bonded out so quick, he didn't take it seriously, and like,
Was that his first time in jail?
oh no, absolutely not.
What's he been in jail for before?
Like, as far as I know, everything with vehicles. Like,
Okay.
just, like, he's never, like, stolen a vehicle or anything that I know of, but it's always, like, speeding or, like, driving without a license. I know he got put in jail for something, like, with his ex, but I don't remember exactly. Like, he said that what happened was, like, they were drinking or whatever, and she tried to, like, come at him with a knife or something, and he poured alcohol on her, and that's why he got a battery charge. But I don't really know if that's, what happened. That's what he said happened. But after everything that, I've been through with him, I don't know if I necessarily believe that.
Yeah.
Especially after now.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. It's just, like, over the last, like, couple weeks, like, and it's not even that we've been out of weed. Like, he just, like, I don't know. Like, something was really just off with him for the last couple weeks,
What do you mean? Can you elaborate on
Like, he just seemed, like, really just depressed and upset and off. And then, like, every time that, like, Judah frustrated him, it's like it just, like, escalated because I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Would any of the other children frustrate him?
I mean, yeah, but kids frustrate people, If you have kids, they're gonna frustrate you, but not like that.
Not to the extent of Judah.
No.
And he never explained why.
Alan never explained why?
Yeah.
Because, okay, the best that I could say that he's ever said to me was, like, he knows better than to go to the bathroom on himself, and it's bullshit that he ignores people. And, it is frustrating because you want to have a conversation, but, like, the difference between me and him is, like, I would go down there because I wanted to stop it, So, like, if Alan was upstairs or something, I would go down there and be like, Judah, please, like, I really want your dad to chill. And I really, like, I want this to stop. So I really want you to work with me here and go to the bathroom and don't ignore your dad, please, because I know you don't like this and I don't like this either.
What would Judah say?
He would always tell me that he would always tell me that he didn't know how to stop. And I think that's another thing that pissed him off because, like, he was fully potty trained. And then when I stopped letting Gina come over, he started, like, doing that. And at first, like, it wasn't, Alan didn't get this pissed. But then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse, and I didn't know what to do at that point, Like, there was, obviously
And Judah is 4, correct? 2017?
Yeah.
Before. Did Alan understand that at 4 years old, that he's 4 years old and maybe just struggling with potty training again?
I feel like there was points, like, at the very beginning when he started doing it, like, he was understanding about it, but then it got to the point where it was just pissing him off because he kept doing it, and the only times that he would do it would be, like, when he wasn't getting what he wanted, or, like, got a Go-Gurt or something, and he wanted a Go-Gurt, but we told him no. And, like, yeah, we gave a lot of snacks and Go-Gurts and stuff, but that was because he's teething, and, it's a lot easier to appease with food and juice and stuff like that. And, you know, like, he didn't like when he was not getting what the other kids did. So he kind of looked at it, okay, well, if they're doing this, then I might as well just, you know. And I asked him before, like, why? Like, why do you ignore him? Mm-hmm. Like, I really just, I want to know, like, I don't understand why. Because I know, like, I know what's happening is wrong, and I'm trying to stop it, buddy, but I can't if you won't talk to me, you know?
Mm-hmm. And would he explain why he would ignore him?
He would just say he can't stop, or he doesn't know how. And I didn't know how to help. Like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say.
And how many months or weeks has Alan been doing this to Judah then?
As far as, like, see, it wasn't always, like, the aggressive stuff. You know, like, he would have him go stand down in the basement just because it was, like, dark-ish. And, like, he wanted him to, like, learn, I guess. Like, he thought that if he had him stand down there for 5 minutes, you know, little kids are scared of monsters or whatever. So I think that maybe he thought that if he had him go stand down there for 5 minutes, that maybe, you know, he would stop doing the stuff. But he didn't.
Scare tactic, in a sense.
And then, I mean,
that he would maybe scare him out of it. And then it turned into violence, turned into the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
When did that start? How many months ago?
A couple weeks ago.
Is about the same time that Alan's been acting funny?
Yeah. Okay. And it's like, I know he's not on drugs. Like, he, you know, he's very, besides weed, like, that's all he ever did. Mm-hmm. And it bothers me because, you know, he always talked, you know, when he talked about his dad, mm-hmm. his dad passed away when he was young. Mm-hmm. But his dad was a very violent person. Mm-hmm. And he always, you know, would tell me about, like, not always, but, like, he told me that his dad had hit them with, like, 2x4s and just beat the shit out of them. And there was multiple times where I was like, why would you be like your dad? And that pissed him off, and then he came at me.
Would he say why?
Why
he would be like his dad? Did he ever answer your question?
No, because talking about his dad just pissed him off. Bringing up his dad pissed him off.
And then he would
walk super fast at me. The fuck did you just say about my dad? Mm-hmm. You don't know my fucking dad, so shut the fuck up. But it's like, and he would get really upset when I said, do you really want the boys to grow up mm-hmm. and be like you are? Oh, shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. It was always the same thing.
Mary, I got a question.
Yes,
and it stems back to a statement you made earlier in this interview. Early on, you mentioned that you had to fight with CPS for Judah.
Well, for really all of them. And that was because my mom didn't like Alan and she didn't want me to be with him. And she wanted Micah to live with her. So she called DCS and said that Alan had hit him, which that's not what happened. And I even told DCS, like, that was solely because I was playing rough with him and I was playing too rough. And, you know, so what had happened was I was going like this and I was trying to make him mad, but he was too, and I was playing too rough. And I had accidentally left a mark on his face when I was doing that. And my mom thought that Alan had hit him on purpose. And I tried to explain, like, no, like, that was me. Like, that's my fault. I was too rough. I fucked up, like. And nobody believed me.
So
everybody thought it was Alan. So for 4 years, it was just a constant fight. And, you know, like, nothing ever happened during that whole time, you know, like, we would get phone calls after phone calls after phone calls made on us, and they would check the kids every single time, and there would not be one mark on them because we didn't do anything.
How many times I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you finished your statement.
Like, it got exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why it went from, you know, everybody is in a happy family and everything's okay, and we finally have our family back, to all of this. So, I really don't know what changed. I don't know if it was me, maybe, that bothered him and he took it out on Judah. I don't know if something triggered him. I don't know. I mean, it's almost since, like, the whole car situation, like, he's been really weird. Like, he never, like, said anything like this, but it seemed like he thought, like, he was a badass because he raced the cops, you know? And he, like, for, like, a week and a half, 2 weeks after that happened, you know, I'd sit there and be like, dude, like, you screwed us over because now we don't have a vehicle. Like, we literally couldn't go anywhere for, like, 2 months. Like, we, like, couldn't go to the store, we couldn't do anything, so we were stuck. But, like, he would do this, he would say this thing where he'd be like, fast as fuck, boy. And I told him it wasn't funny. And I'd get pissed at him for it, because it's not funny. Like, you blew the motor on my damn car that my grandma got for me so that we could have a vehicle. And I was pissed, and I'm still pissed about that, because that car's done. And I don't know what changed.
Where'd you guys get the red vehicle at? The red van?
We bought that in Michigan City.
Okay.
My grandma also bought that.
How recent was that you guys were able to get that?
Like May or June, maybe. Okay. I think.
Yeah. Did you have a follow-up question?
Yeah. So you were describing some of the tactics that was utilized by Alan with punishment for Judah ignoring him or not following a potty break. Were there other forms besides the scare tactics, making him sleep in the basement, stand in the basement, being struck? Was there anything else? I'm assuming that there was verbal abuse.
I mean, yeah. He'd call him stupid. I mean, I can't sit there and say that I didn't, like, say mean things too, because I was frustrated, and I called him stupid a couple times too. So it's not like, you know, I'm perfect in the matter, you know, because I got frustrated, and
None of us are.
I was like, why can't you just stop being stupid and listen to your dad and answer him?
Well, what about what would Alan say? Because we know.
I hate you. I wish Gina would have kept you. You're the most retarded kid I've ever met in my life. And shit like that. It is just being, there's no other word for it than just saying that he was just being mean.
And Gina, refresh my memory.
Gina's Alan's cousin.
Yeah, this is Mary.
Right.
Oh, Gina's what? Oh.
Yeah, I was.
I see where you're going.
How Gina fits into this dynamic with the family dynamic.
She's Alan's cousin, and she was his placement when DCS was going on. And I think a lot of the thing that pissed Alan off about Gina and Phil is because he called Gina mom and called Phil dad. And that really bothered him. Because I don't think that Judah ever stopped thinking about them, and I think that really bothered him because he wanted his son, like that's his son,
Mm-hmm.
and because of, maybe I'm incorrect, but I feel like because he missed them and he wanted to see them, he thought that maybe, if he was peeing himself and stuff, that we would just say screw it and send him back to Gina and Phil.
Mm-hmm.
And it frustrated me because I felt like maybe at times, like maybe I should, let him go over there. But at the same time, I was frustrated because I felt like if I sent him back over there, then his behavior was just gonna, get worse. And I didn't know what to do about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also didn't want to piss Alan off. Because there was times where I considered kind of messaging her and having her sneak over the house, but Alan would know. So I didn't.
When was the last time that he was there with Gina, meaning Judah?
Well, Gina had visited in May, maybe the beginning of June at the latest. I don't know.
What was the duration when he was there for?
Since he was 3 months old.
By the placement of CPS?
Since he was 3 months old. So, it's not really his fault that he looked at them as his parents. Yeah, it hurt. And it upset me too because I never got to really be his mom, and he never looked at me like his mom. Ever. And, lately, I thought maybe it would be best if I found, because I didn't agree with, him going to Gina's, but I felt like maybe I should find an adoptive family for him as well, because I wanted him to be out of the house because I didn't want this to continue, but I felt like he deserved more. And I don't know.
When was Judah placed back with you guys full time? In May?
I believe so.
Okay.
So Mary, with some of these other, these various tactics for discipline, was there any point in time that you were aware that Judah had been bound?
I know he had,
whether by rope or tape or...
So he had went upstairs and stole a Go-Gurt out of the fridge, and Alan got upset about that, so he had taped his hands together and had put him up against one of the poles within the last week. I told him it was too much, and he said no, it's not, because he thinks he can steal shit out of our fridge.
When's the last time you saw Judah?
Before I came to the hospital.
What time did you come to the hospital?
At maybe 3:30, I think.
PM?
Yes.
Okay. On 10:10?
No.
Oh.
Wait. Wait, what? No, it was...
So you came the day before?
Yeah, because yes.
On Saturday.
I'm sorry.
On Saturday. No, it's okay. I'm just trying to get the dates right. So you were there 10:09?
Yes.
Okay. And then what time was born?
At like 12:45 in the morning.
Okay. So were you in active labor when you left?
Well, so I had gotten my membrane stripped on Thursday.
Okay.
And I had read that usually, like, if there's not, like, labor signs within 48 hours, you should probably go in, especially if you're not feeling anything, because you didn't, like, want to risk infection. So I called up Morgan, and I was like, I think we should just try and go in and see, because I don't like that he's not moving.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, I wanted to get those terms right.
So you gave birth early Sunday morning on the 10th.
Yes, sir.
How did you find out, in fast forwarding, how did you find out about what occurred?
Alan had called me, like, freaking out.
Do you remember about what time that was?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know. Okay. Maybe like 1:30 maybe. That's a like total guesstimate though. Like, okay. I don't actually know.
That's fair.
I don't even know what time it is right now, so I'm like completely out of it. But like, he called me and I immediately didn't know what to do, because he said, Mary, I don't know what to do. And I said, Alan, what the fuck did you do? And he said his temperature is really low and I can't get it back up, and I've been trying to do CPR on him for an hour. And he said he fucked up and he didn't know what to do. And I told him he needed to call somebody. And he said, I'm not calling anybody because I'm going to go to prison. I'm like, Alan, you need to fucking call somebody before something happens. Like, you need to call somebody, because he said, you know, he had said that his heart was still beating. And I told him to call, like, so many times. And Alan wouldn't call, and I don't know why I started praying instead of calling an ambulance. But then I got up after I prayed, and I went and told Morgan that I didn't know what to do, and I was freaking out. And she was like, we need to call now.
Was Morgan at the hospital, or did you?
Yes.
She was at the hospital? Okay.
She's been there. She was the only one there with me the whole time. Like, the entire time. She was the one that picked me up from the house, brought me all the way to the hospital, and she stayed the whole time. Because either nobody else could, or nobody else would. And I feel like I could have done more, because I had called him right before he was born. And I said, can you please find a ride up here? Or find somebody that can come sit with the kids, because I really need you up here. You know, like, I've had all of our children with you in the room, and I really need you here. You know, can you please try? And he didn't try at all. And I didn't try. And maybe if I did try and find somebody, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. But then again, I could have said something before, and I didn't. And I failed my son.
Have you communicated with Alan any other time since that contact?
No, sir. The last time I talked to him, I told him, well, after that phone call, and I called somebody, like, I told Morgan, and she called, and I called as well. And I called him. I was like, listen, I'm sorry. I love you, and I will always have love for you, okay? But he needs to be okay. And if there's something that seriously wrong, I'm sorry, but I already called. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna go to prison. I'm like, you know what, Alan? I'm sorry. And I've never had the balls to say this to him before. But something in my heart didn't feel right. And I said, you know what? I'm not fucking choosing you over my kids. But when I finally had the balls to say it, it was too late. And now he's gone. Because I didn't fucking say anything. So really it is my fault because I was too scared to defend my own child because I didn't want to get hurt. And I was selfish for that. And that was wrong. And now my child is gone because of me, really. Because I could have done something. I could have done more than just say, stop, that's not okay. I could have done more than try to pull him off of him, I could have done something, and I didn't.
What else did Alan say? Anything else that we're missing?
Did he elaborate on anything that occurred beyond?
He didn't say what he had done. He just said that, he had said something along the lines of that, because I had told him earlier, I was like, if he's making you that angry, you need to just ignore him. Like, leave him alone. Stop bothering him. Leave him alone. And he said that he had brought him a sandwich. And when he went back down to check on him, he said that it seemed like he had choked on a sandwich because there was like breadcrumbs or something in his nose or something. And he said that he was trying to help him, but he couldn't. So I don't really know what happened. I don't know if maybe he did choke on the sandwich. I don't know. I don't know if it was because of something Alan did, because I wasn't there. Sure. And all the other kids were asleep.
Yeah.
Good.
But you weren't there. I mean, we're just asking what he said. What could have happened.
Yeah, I know he didn't mean to do it. He's got anger issues. And I will never fucking forgive him for this. I don't think he meant to do it. I really don't. I think that he realized he fucked up. Whether it was because he did something to him to hurt him, or because he did choke and he really didn't know what to do, but sorry.
No, it's okay. When earlier, you said he went down to check on him. Do you know how long Alan had him in the basement?
Yesterday, or I don't remember what day it was, but I had seen Judah sitting on the couch in the living room watching TV with the rest of the kids.
Is that before you left?
No. I was at the hospital.
How'd you see him?
On the security cameras.
Oh, okay.
The cameras inside your home?
Yeah. But he never would do anything in front of the cameras.
Was there a camera down in the basement?
No. There was one in the living room, one in the kids' room, and were the ones that slept in the kids' room. And then slept out in the living room because he overheats really easily, and we had the AC unit right there, and the TV was out in the living room, so he was out there. So we had the living room one, the driveway, the porch, and the kids' room.
So this camera system, is this a cloud-based system? Is this something that you guys have, like a DVR at the house?
Yeah, it's like a old thing that we had bought off of Facebook or something.
Okay, but it's got like a recorder that you guys have at the house, and doesn't just, I'm assuming it just runs on a loop.
I think.
Okay.
I'm usually really good with tech stuff, but I don't really know.
Can you both access it from your phone?
I had just set up his where he could like access it.
So is it on the cloud base then too? If you can access it from your phone, is it an
It
app?
might be. I mean, it's an app, yeah, but I don't, like, I've tried to go click things before. Sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. It really depends on, like the driveway and the porch would go off constantly. Like, anytime there was, like, a bug that flew by, it would go off.
What's the name of the app, if you can recall?
Swan.
Swan, like SWA.
And
you guys, so who would be the account holder with?
I had signed it up with my email address.
What is your email address?
It's at gmail.com. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm fully innocent. Like, I wasn't the best mom, you know? Like, there was times where, you know, I'd get frustrated and I would curse at him. And I would, you know, say mean things. Like, I'd call him stupid because I was frustrated. And, you know, there was times where, like, I mean, like, he would make me mad or something, and I would, don't do that stupid shit, or, like, watch your mouth, or, you know, like, just pop him on the back of the head, but I wouldn't, like, punch him. But even still, like, that's not something I should have done.
Did Alan tell you when he took him down to the basement, since you last saw Judah on the camera?
No. I don't know what time he took him down there.
He didn't converse with you via text message when any of that was going on?
No, because he had made dinner, and then he had all the kids in bed by 8:15 that night. And I remember I had asked him how the hell he had managed to get all the kids in bed and asleep, because I struggled to do that. So, and he was like, oh, I got it. Like, you know, and they were all like, looked super comfy and passed out. So you know.
And that was the night of the 9th or the 10th?
The 9th.
The 9th. And that was about the last time you saw Judah then, on the phone, correct? Or did you see him playing anywhere else, or?
Just in room.
Okay. But Alan never said anything after that, since the 9th.
Well, he had told me that he had brought him back downstairs, but I don't remember, like, I was on the phone with him when he said it. I don't remember exactly what time it was, or I'm assuming that, because he had said that the reason he had brought him back downstairs is because he had threw up all over the other bedroom that we had. So not our room, not the kids' bedroom, but the other bedroom, which is where, when he was behaving, that was his room.
Mm-hmm. And do you know what day that was? He said that? What time? Or close to what day he said that, or what time that he took him back downstairs?
See, I don't know if he had slept in there all night, like in the room upstairs all night, or if, like, I don't really know. That much wasn't really clear to me, because I had asked, because he had said something about he had brought him back downstairs. I was like, why? What now?
Mm-hmm.
And he had said that he had threw up, like, all over the spare room, and
But you don't remember when he took him down?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay. Was it within the last day or so?
Yes.
Okay. And did he say anything after that about...
About him, no, not until what happened.
Until you got the call. Okay. What has occurred at the hospital since you've been there? Any other phone calls that Alan has made to you, or said anything, or explained to you, or talked about Judah at all to you?
No, we didn't really talk about him. Just video games, and he wanted me to watch something that Ben Shapiro had posted.
Mm-hmm. You said earlier you were contemplating about having his adoptive parents maybe take Judah. When did that thought and that discussion come about?
I mean, Alan didn't necessarily agree with that because he felt like they would spoil him. And I was like, okay, but they're good people, like... I don't think that would be a bad choice,
Mm-hmm. When was that conversation that you had with Alan?
Like a month ago.
Okay.
At least.
You didn't have it recently?
Mm. I mean, and it's...
Have you had that conversation with anybody else recently?
Well, I had talked to Morgan about it because we were talking about how I was debating whether I wanted to still continue with placing... because it just got really hard for me to think about letting him go.
Yeah.
And I had brought up to her, to be honest with you, like, I felt like maybe you guys would be better suited to. And then this happened.
Did you bring that up to her at the hospital?
Yes. This was at midnight last night.
Oh,
and then Alan had called me at 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was the fact that I had just been talking about Judah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he called me freaking out.
Yeah.
And then I prayed. And I begged God to not let anything bad happen because I was scared. But I automatically thought the worst. Because he was freaking out. He was saying he was cold, and he said his temperature was 91, and he got it up to 94, and then it went back down to 91, and he didn't know what to do.
Did he say how long you'd been down there?
He said that he had been trying to give him CPR for an hour.
Did Alan say he went down there to check on him after he gave his sandwich?
Yes.
So... Did he say when he gave him a sandwich?
He didn't say what time, no. He just said that, well, you had told me to ignore him. I didn't mean, that's not what I meant. I meant just leave him alone. Don't bother him. Just don't touch him. Just let him be,
Did you know he was in the basement at that time? Or
I didn't know if he had maybe brought him up from the meal, and then he told me that he had brought him a sandwich down there.
How long in your mind do you think that was between the time he told you that he took him downstairs and the time he brought him a sandwich?
The time he took him downstairs.
The time.
I think he had taken him downstairs in the morning sometime, maybe before lunch. I think
yesterday.
Oh yeah, it would be yesterday. Yeah.
So you think Alan brought Judah downstairs yesterday morning is when the last time you think he told you?
I know that he said that he went back downstairs because he had puked all over the bed.
Okay.
But I don't know,
And then when it comes to the food, the sandwich, it was sometime in the afternoon that he took him a sandwich?
From what I understand, yes.
Okay. And then you checked on him again last night?
Yes. After
Is it normal to keep him downstairs more than 24 hours?
He has.
What's the longest time frame you think he's gone?
Like 2 days. Like, he would bring him upstairs to go to the bathroom every couple hours and try and get him to go to the bathroom. And then he would just ignore him, and he got mad at him, and he said, fine, then take your ass back downstairs.
Mary, do you know what time you were supposed to get back over to the hospital?
No, sir.
They're supposed to call me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to do right now is just kind of sit tight at this point. And we'll get you back over there. Okay.
Okay. That's it.
Is there anything else we can get you right now to make you? I want to make you as comfortable as possible.
We do have donuts if you're hungry by chance.
No, I just want to see my kids.
Okay. Well, let's make a couple of phone calls here.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, we ask that you stay off your phone. Okay. And then we'll go from there. Okay.
So I can't, like, call my dad or anybody? I can't, like...
As Detective Weimer explained, there's certain things to keep an integrity of an investigation. And while we're in the initial stages of it, we want to limit, and this goes for anybody that's involved. So it just has to do with the integrity of things. Because I know, you know that everybody's going to want to be asking you questions and is going to want information. So I would just relax for a minute. Let's focus on getting you back to the hospital. Okay? So you can do what you need to do there.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, everything's...
Yeah. This is just a lot and overwhelming, so we're just trying to slow it down.
You're exhausted, you're tired, you've been up.
I've slept 4 hours since 5:30 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, literally a total of 5 hours, maybe, since 5:30 on Saturday morning.
Oh my goodness.
So, this is not what I wanted to have to deal with ever in my life. And now it's just, I'm like so out of it, and I'm just really tired, and now I'm just stressed because I'm worried about my kids, you know?
Yeah, I came straight here with you, so I haven't been able to call and get some more answers on them. Okay.
And let us make a phone call and figure that stuff out too, and we can give you that information.
Okay.
Okay. You sure you don't want a donut?
I mean, that's what we have to eat.
If
you get hungry, please let us know, because we have a few out there that we're willing to share for sure.
I just feel sick, honestly.
Okay.
Like, I've felt sick since...
Yeah, that's a lot of your emotions going up and down, okay? So drink your Sprite. If you need anything, we'll be floating around right here, okay?
Do you know about, like, how long until I'll be able to go see him?
See who?
Oh,
That's phone calls that we're going to make, that we're going to try and figure out for you.
No one's called me yet, but they're probably still waiting.
Let's get some of these other processes going, and we'll let you know, okay?
Okay. Oh, as soon as we got answers, I'll pop my head in, okay?
Okay.
Hi, Mary. I'm Reed with DCS.
Hi.
All right. So, we did receive a report regarding what's going on. I'm so sorry for your loss. Sincerely, I'm so sorry. So just a part.
I should have said something.
Okay. So I have
The drug test.
and this is just a part of the procedure. So we're not accusing you of
I've been
anything.
through it so many times that...
Right. Are you willing to screen for me today?
Yes, absolutely. I probably may fail for some THC.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a little while since I've smoked, but I may fail, but
I'm not really worried about marijuana. Do you smoke around the children?
no, never.
Is there a sober caregiver?
Yes.
Okay. And who's usually the caregiver if you decide to smoke?
Well, I don't. So basically, what happened was, if we did smoke, it was either outside or in our room, which was fully closed off from the kids. I mean, sometimes we would try and walk in, but most of the time, you know, that wasn't the case. But I was basically the, you know, main person, because whenever he got home from work, he just wanted to go straight in the room and smoke.
Okay.
And he would always want me to come in there with him, and, you know, I would for a second, because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did smoke while I was pregnant, but I literally couldn't eat or drink anything. So, like, when he would come home from work, I'd feel sick all day. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for being honest.
I, like, any time that there was any kind of noise, I would try and keep it to, like, 5 minutes, and then I would usually try and go, like, sit out with the kids, play with them, you know.
All right, girlie, what is your date of birth?
2395.
Oh, that's my birthday too, but I'm a little older than you.
Your birthday's August 23rd.
Yep.
Are my kids okay?
Yes, so,
No.
he has no idea, and I'm not the person. We are not saying anything. That's not our place.
Okay.
He has no idea.
My poor baby.
None of the kids do. They were all asleep.
I'm glad they were asleep, because I was afraid that I saw.
Nope, he was in his bed. He said he woke up when he heard law enforcement, and then he saw the lights with the ambulance. And as soon as they made contact, they took the kids and put them in with the paramedics in the ambulance.
What about? Well, they said on the news that he was already gone when they got there.
Yeah, but the children didn't see anything. He didn't disclose anything. He didn't hear anything. As far as he knows, that Judah's still alive. He doesn't know what's going on.
Probably.
He's being strong for he's looking after, he's being big brother.
It's amazing.
He's very, very smart.
He's very smart.
You're doing something right. All right.
Am I, though? Like, if I would have just had the balls and not been scared of him and said something, he might still be here, you know?
And you know how to do these?
Yeah, too well. Dealt with it for 4 years.
Okay, and then Alan, he smokes marijuana as well?
Yes.
Is that the only substance
Yes.
he uses? Do you know the last time he used?
Who knows?
Okay.
Oh, shit. My parents should be coming back into town soon, so.
Okay. Did you receive prenatal care with Judah?
Yes.
Okay. And then when did you start prenatal care?
I couldn't really tell you because it's been so long.
Was it like as soon as you found out you went?
As far as I remember.
Okay. It wasn't like you never went, or you went like 2 times.
It was like that,
Okay.
honestly, but I already dealt with that situation.
Oh, sorry. And then sign and date here.
So where do we go from here?
So the kids currently are with my coworker. They're getting a skeletal scan at Franciscan just to make sure that they don't have any injuries.
Okay.
I disclosed that, there wasn't inappropriate discipline with them. Until we kind of get this resolved.
You said there was?
There was not. he never indicated that there was physical abuse on him. So we're just going to do a skeletal scan. They are detained as of right now, just until we cover all bases.
When will I be able to see them?
We can set up something soon. Let me give you my card. Is there anything else that was just any symptoms that you can think of with Judah? Any difficulty breathing, fussiness or crying? Was anyone sick?
I mean, he was crying because of Alan.
Okay, but nothing that beyond that.
He just didn't seem like he wanted to go to the bathroom. And I don't know if he needed to go or not, but I couldn't really... Alan didn't really want me near him because I was the one that was trying to stop him from being so angry. I mean, I wasn't always the best mom, you know. I said things to him that I shouldn't have said.
Mm-hmm. Could Judah communicate what was like kind of like express why he couldn't use the bathroom?
He said, I remember, and it pissed Alan off because he asked him why he didn't pee like he was supposed to. He pissed his pants. Mm-hmm. And he told Alan because he didn't want to, and Alan slapped him across his face.
Okay. So he didn't want to use the bathroom, or he didn't want to use the toilet?
He said he didn't want to use the toilet.
Okay.
And that pissed Alan off because that was really the whole reason why Alan was frustrated in the first place, is because he wanted him to use the bathroom like he was supposed to.
Okay.
And I get it that it's frustrating. We didn't really have the money to get like pull-ups for both of them, but I would have rather just put him in freaking pull-ups, man. Like.
Okay. Did he have any medical conditions that he was diagnosed with?
No.
Allergies, asthma, sleep apnea, seizures, any heart condition?
He had acid reflux when he was little, like little.
And that kind of took care of itself?
I think he was on medication for it for a little bit, but I don't really know. Because, I mean, I didn't have him. So.
Okay. But it really wasn't an issue when he was back.
I mean, he was gaggy. Oh, no. Once he grew out of that once he was like 2, I'd say, probably.
Okay. All right. Any exposure to secondhand smoke?
I don't really know, like, as far as I go, no.
Okay.
But I don't know because, like, I know Gina and Phil smoke cigarettes. Well, Gina did. She kind of, like, told me not to tell Phil that she smoked cigarettes because he didn't want her smoking cigarettes. So I don't really know.
Okay. Judah had any vaccination in the last 72 hours to your knowledge? Okay. Had he been vaccinated? Was he up to date?
I believe so. I mean, he was due for his 4-year checkup, but I wasn't able to do that because we went to Virginia and then the plates expired on the van, and then Alan got arrested for driving my car and blowing the motor in it, so we didn't have a vehicle to get anywhere.
Okay. So, except for the 4-year, but it's not like super late because he just turned 4 in the summer, right?
Yep, he literally just turned 4 in June.
Was he breastfed as a baby or formula?
I tried for like 3 months, but then the placement he was at, because he was allowed to stay with me at placement, because I was living with like my best friend's mom, and she was placement for him, and she, like, DCS gave permission for me to live there, but then me and her got into it, and she had him taken from her house.
Okay.
So after that, it was kind of like...
Then it moved to formula?
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else about Judah that I would need to know just about him in general? Like any behavioral issues, any...
He said that he was talking to something in the closet.
Okay.
And that kind of scared me a little bit because the things that he would say were very, just very odd, I guess. And it was stuff that even made me uncomfortable.
Okay.
Like I believe in God, and I also believe in other things as well. And it scared me because the way that he talked about it was like it was something that was not of God.
Do you have like anything in specific, like
He
that
said
sticks
that
out?
it stayed in the closet and it was telling him to do bad things.
Okay.
And he couldn't tell it to stop
Okay.
because it was bigger than him
Okay.
and it scared him. So he listened to it.
Okay. Did he say what bad things he wanted him to do?
Not listen, go
Okay.
to that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, because I had asked him one time why, because he was playing in the kids' room, and I had seen him talking to something,
Okay.
and I walked in there and asked him what was going on, and he kind of told me, he had a name for it. He called it shoe.
Did he describe what shoe looked like? Just that it was bigger than him?
I had looked up something, and basically he pointed out a picture of what he said it looked like, and it was supposedly one of the demons from hell.
Okay.
Which is what really scared me.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's what it was, because kids have wild imaginations.
Mm-hmm.
But I was afraid that maybe there was something that was bothering him and I didn't know how to fix it. I'm not a priest, I'm not God, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
And if you couldn't see it, there's not much that you could do either.
Right.
How long had he been talking to this shoer, this person in the closet?
So it started off I don't really remember when it started. It was a while, a long time ago, but it wasn't it didn't start, because at first we thought that Shu was just an imaginary friend,
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really think anything of it, but then it started becoming a problem.
Okay.
Not a problem, but he would go stand by the closet and talk into the closet, and it was just really weird. And I guess I'd asked him, I'm sorry, I was so tired.
That's fine.
I guess had asked him what it was or where he goes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I had said something about he had told that he didn't like anyone else in the house.
This shoe?
Yes.
Okay.
That he was he hated everyone in the house,
Mm-hmm.
especially me and his dad. Well, apparently especially me, because I believe in God, and that bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was nothing that I could do to protect my son from something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently, I can't protect my kid from anything.
So this has been going on, would you say, a couple of months?
For some months, yes.
Would you say a year or 6 months?
I would say closer. I don't really know for sure, but I'd say closer 6 months.
Okay, so it's been a consistent thing for 6 months,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's not an everyday thing, but it's
It wasn't one time 6 months ago?
no.
Okay.
No, we've had conversations about
Okay.
that 5 times at least.
Okay.
But nothing it wasn't every day.
Okay.
But it was
But it was definitely something that was going on with him.
Well, I was considering having him taken to like a psychiatrist to maybe see if there was like an issue with schizophrenia or something.
And him being so young, they would have never diagnosed him with that.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about schizophrenia, is that a cause for concern in the family? Does anyone have any mental illness on mom or dad's side?
Well, I have anxiety, depression, bipolar, and then I was diagnosed with ODD when I was 12.
Okay.
Which I think that's why it pissed me off when Alan got frustrated with him, because I feel like a lot of there's a lot of me in him. And my parents weren't exactly nice to me either. So the fact that I was basically my mom not protecting him like I should have pissed me off, because I always told myself I would never be like my mom. And now I'm worse. Because
so with Alan, has he ever has he put his hands on you?
On me?
Has the children seen it?
He didn't really do it in front of them. There was a couple of times, one time I don't remember what it was about, but he had choked me out on the side of the couch, and I was standing right there, and I was there, and I was crying, and I was crying.
Do you know how long ago that was?
A few months ago.
Okay.
Maybe 4 months ago.
About 4 months ago. Okay. And to your knowledge, the kids hadn't seen anything since that incident?
Not that I know of. I mean, me and him fought a lot. We argued a lot, but he hasn't physically touched me in a while,
But he has.
Quite a few times, and I never told anybody.
Okay.
And I, again, should have frickin' said something.
Is there anything else about Judah that was concerning, or just kind of overall big picture about him?
Besides the fact that I completely failed him.
So he was having just issues defecating and urinating.
And he wouldn't, when Alan would ask him a question, he would just sit there and stare at him.
Okay.
Stare right in his face. And that pissed Alan off to no end.
Okay.
It frustrated me too, because it's I'm trying to help you. Okay, so he would have him go sit on the toilet. And he hated when I did this, because I was catering to him. But it's I'm trying to, you're too nice to them. You spoil them. No, I'm trying to help them because I don't want them to go through what I did when I was little. And it's worse, So he didn't like when I, sat there and tried to talk to him and, But see, the last time that he had made him go downstairs because he wasn't doing that, I went down there and I had tried to talk to him. And he started explaining to me, having a conversation with me. But then as soon as Alan opened the door, he just stopped. And I was like, please, Judah, please don't stop talking, because it's just gonna piss him off. And he wouldn't talk.
Was he just would he wet the bed at night? Would it be
It was all day.
All the time?
All the time.
And he refused to use the toilet?
Yes. He would go to the bathroom either on himself or on the floor. And then, a little bit later, we would give him, some water or something to drink. And, we'd bring him upstairs and he would just sit there and not go. And Alan would, I can't say that I didn't get frustrated with him either, but I also didn't do.
Yeah, parenting can be frustrating. No one's denying that, especially when you do have.
I called him stupid. called him retarded.
Did he have any learning disabilities other than he just kind of couldn't catch on to counting and stuff? Okay.
But regardless, I shouldn't have said that. Like, I don't remember the last time I told him I loved him. And now I'll never be able to fix that. And, like, I remember another reason why Ellen got irritated with him was because, I mean, I got frustrated with him too. Like, I took it away, but there was medicine that was because he was struggling to poop. Like, it was super hard. So I'd given Judah some, and he, you know, you can't just give it to them all the time, you know, because if you give it any medicine, like if you give it to them all the time, it's not gonna, you know, do anything. So he had went to the bathroom, and then, like, I was changing his butt, and he had came in the room and said he needed to go potty. Like, he said he needed to poop. So I brought him in the bathroom, and he sat down, and he was like, I need the medicine. I was like, Judah, I'm not giving any to you. You just had some. I'm not giving it to you because it's medicine. It's not candy. You know, like, you gotta understand that. Like, I understand it helps you, but if you don't actually need it, and he had just pooped like a couple hours before. So I told him, if you don't actually need it, then, you know, I'm not gonna give it to you. And then he decided that because I wouldn't give him the medicine, he was gonna start doing it again.
Okay.
So it's like, really, whenever he didn't get what he wanted, he would start doing that.
I guess I'm just trying to kind of understand, like, if there was an underlying issue with it. Like,
if there was,
it like maybe started. You know, sometimes, like, you have a painful, like, poop. Maybe he didn't want to want to hurt again, so maybe, or X, Y, and Z.
Well, I tried to ask him, and he didn't want to tell me, or maybe he thought that his dad would hear him telling me, because any time that I was talking to him, like, he would start talking to me, you know, and as soon as he heard his dad, he just completely shut down.
Okay.
And it didn't used to be like that. Like, when, like, everything was, like, starting to end with DCS, like, Alan was the only person he talked to, but that was because, like, me and him weren't, like, close, because he looked at Gina as his mom.
Okay.
You know? And, you know, he didn't feel close to me, but I feel like maybe, you know, he started feeling safer with me because he knew I wouldn't do that stuff to him.
Do you remember when the case closed? Was it
June?
May. Okay, so early summer? Okay. Is that when he started hearing, like, spirits in the closet?
Something around there, maybe. It was, I don't really remember exactly what month it was.
All right. Well, you have my number. If you call me and I don't answer, just shoot me a text. Do you have, like, a working phone that you can text me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can get visits sorted out with the kids and all that stuff. Okay. So I know the detectives will want to talk to you and get a statement. I just wanted to make sure that I went over just the history of him as an infant and onward. And then we just ask every parent to submit a drug screen just to make sure that there was no impairment. Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. If you do, feel free to contact me. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mary.
Hi, Mary. Okay, so we're gonna take you back to the hospital. Okay. What are we doing from there? You're probably gonna meet with Morgan and be able to see Cohen after that. We'll figure it out.
Can I ask you a really stupid question?
Yeah.
I know this is probably like not appropriate, because I know you're like technically in uniform.
Okay.
But I really need a hug right now.
Oh. Okay.
Are you not allowed to?
Well,
I don't have anybody, and I've been sitting in here, and it's like I haven't seen my kids and my families, and
yeah. How about this? How about we get you to see Morgan, because I know she's the closest one to you. Okay.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't want to give you a hug, but I gotta keep it professional while I'm on duty. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You can ask those questions, but let's get you to Morgan and.
I have so many family I need to apologize to because everybody told me that I was wrong about him and I need to stop seeing good at him because there's not.
Mary, let's take this all one step at a time from here, okay? So we know that we need to meet with them over at the hospital, right?
Yeah.
I'm Adam, by the way.
Yeah, he's going to go with us.
Hi.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. So we're just gonna try to slow things down a little bit as much as we can, okay? And we're gonna get you over to the hospital and take care of some of those things that we know we need to take care of, okay? And then we'll go from there,
Yeah.
okay? And if you
We're
got
gonna help
questions
you out.
about anything, we're going to be with you here for the next little bit, and we'll try to help explain things as best we can.
We know you've been through a lot, so we want to hang out with you for a little bit and just kind of stay with you, because I know you don't have family. And I know you don't have a
My
lot.
dad's supposed to be coming home, but I don't know when he'll be home. And I have
Where's he
like
coming from?
Nashville.
They're down in Nashville.
He won like a trip from work or something, and they didn't know if they could get a flight, but they're working on it.
Yeah, and I know you were saying earlier you didn't have anywhere to go, so I want to stay with you, and you didn't want to go to a shelter, so we're going to stay. And
Well,
help
I
you.
have about 18 people
Yeah, I'm sure.
that are like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm probably not going to respond to 90% of you because any other time that I was going through something,
They're just
you guys weren't there.
Yeah.
Let's go take care of the stuff we know we need to take care of over at the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll go from there. Okay,
Yeah.
is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Take some paper towel with you and put it in your pocket, because I know.
I'm really gross and I've been
No.
snotting all over myself.
Listen,
How the hell am I supposed to tell my son that his little brother's dead?
Again, let's
not cross that bridge.
Let's slow
okay?
things down.
We gotta
Let's-
slow things down.
Let's worry about what we need to next, which is
I'm sorry, like my depression's really like
I know.
fucking up right now.
I know. And that's why we want to slow things down, because you also just went through you're in postpartum right now too.
Yeah, this is not.
You can leave all the trash right here. We will clean it up.
It's my trash.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't like leaving my garbage.
Well,
okay. So we're gonna be back in with you in a second here, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page with everything. So we'll go over some of that stuff and then talk about where we're gonna go from here, what we can help you out with. Okay.
make a checklist.
Yeah. Work on a checklist with some stuff. So we'll be right back in with you. Okay.
Do you actually mean right back in, or is it going to be like?
No, I'm just gonna use the restroom and grab me some water, and then I'll be back in.
I want to check in with these other guys that are here.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just like
Okay.
Yeah.
all these rooms are making me really like.
No. What if I leave that door cracked open just a little bit? Is that okay?
Well,
Yeah,
give you some air and stuff. Yeah, we're trying our best
It's
to.
also
get out
super
something.
cold in here.
I know.
I thought the same thing this morning.
Yeah.
So, just give us a second. Okay.
If you need water or food, you just let us know, okay?
Okay. Hello. Hi, Grandma. I take it my mom didn't tell you, did she? I take it my mom didn't tell you, did she? I take it my mom didn't tell you, did she? Judah's gone. Judah's gone, Grandma. Judah is gone, Grandma. Judah. Grandma. Grandma. I don't... He... I really don't know how. He's gone, Grandma. I really don't even, wanna, explain, but you have, it's only fair if you know. Well, everyone was right, and everyone was right, okay? Everybody's been sitting here telling me I told you so. Alan is in prison, or will be. Alan? Because he accidentally took things way too far, and he hurt him, and... Grandma, I don't want to have to say it again. He's in prison, Grandma. And that's where he belongs. I hate myself. I don't... They just got him. No. No. Grandma, it's so much worse than that. I really don't even want to have to get into detail. To be very honest, I'm surprised my mom didn't tell you. No, well, they're not about to be because they're going to be on their way home tomorrow. He's gone, Grandma. Grandma, he's gone, okay? He's gone. I don't know. I don't want to have to say it any other way, okay? I don't know what else to tell you, and I really don't want to, say it any other way, okay? I really don't. Grandma, I don't want to have to say it again. I mean, that's what it is. So... There's nothing you can do. There's nothing anyone can do, Grandma. There is literally nothing that anyone can do. It is too late. And I'm sorry I had to tell you. I thought my mom would have told you because Uncle John knows. So... I don't know how you don't know or didn't know. Very early this morning. while I was in the hospital? Yeah, I have been lying to you, Grandma. Yeah. Because I told everyone that I wasn't pregnant, and I was. Yes. Well, he has a cleft lip. The cleft lip, where it's like kind of like their lip is split. Probably. No, I'm sitting in the sheriff's office. Yes. Grandma, I thought we already went over this. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, I really don't want to have to repeat myself, okay? Like, I really don't. Like, I don't want to have to say it again, okay? It's okay. No, there is nothing you can do, Grandma, okay? I have to go, though, okay? I have an officer that's trying to speak to me so we can figure things out, okay? I love you, Grandma. I really hope she doesn't have, like, a freaking heart attack.
Okay. You doing okay with your Sprite? Do you need any more water? Do you need any water or anything like that? And you didn't want anything to eat, right? Okay.
She said that if I get hungry, she'll give me something.
Yeah, perfect.
She said that she said what she's gonna do is, she said if I want her to get me in my own room, she'll pay for it. But I was like, I can't.
Oh, Grandma? Okay.
No, Christy.
Oh, Christy.
But my grandma would too, but being alone right now is not.
Yeah, probably not a good thing.
No.
Mary, this is what I want to do. I would like to have an opportunity to go over some of the things that you had discussed earlier, because I wasn't in on some of that, okay? And just to make sure that I'm on the same page and that I have a clear understanding of everything that happened,
Yes,
okay? What I'd also like to do, just so we don't have any distractions, I'm going to take this phone, I'm going to set it right on the ledge of my office door. You see that little ledge right there? I'm going to set it right there, okay? Just so we can focus a little bit and have a good conversation here. Okay, does that sound okay? All right. Let's set it right here. You go watch me. Okay. I think Christina's going to join us again.
Good on Sprite water?
Okay. Mary, so there's just a lot of questions about everything, and I don't have a clear picture of everything that's happened. And obviously you have a lot of questions too, because you're at the hospital with stuff that happened at the house, okay? But in these types of situations, I think it's good for me to try to cover our bases, and because it is a criminal investigation, I want to make sure that you're aware of what your rights are, okay? I'm not here pointing fingers at anybody. I'm here just to try to figure out if we can put some pieces of the puzzle back together and get a good understanding of maybe some background in this situation and how all this came to a head, okay? And I think you can help a lot with putting all that together. But I do need to go over your constitutional rights with you, just to be on the safe side, and that it's something we need to do with you. Okay, so the way I normally do that. Okay. So, and Mary, again, I apologize, but there's been a lot of moving parts with this whole situation. And as I had told you before, I can only imagine what's kind of going through your head and some of the things that you're trying to process right now. And we're trying to be as conscious and here for you that we can be, okay? But I would like to kind of go over probably some stuff you already talked about this morning, and I apologize for doing that. But it's important that I have a good understanding of kind of what took place and what your knowledge is, and some background with you and Alan.
Okay.
Okay. So, if you could explain to me the children that are living in the house with you guys leading up to Saturday, which was the 9th. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Leading up to Saturday the 9th. We're all living in the house with you?
Yes, sir.
And it's my understanding that there's a time period that they weren't living with you.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that.
Basically, my mom wanted custody of me, and she called DCS on me because she told them I was smoking weed and that Alan had hit me, which was not the case, because that was me playing way too rough with him, and I told DCS that, and nobody believed me because everybody said it was Alan, and I tried to explain to them that it was because I was being too rough with him, and they didn't listen, and they told me to quit covering for him, and I tried to explain, like, that's not what was happening. Well,
To have some sort of bruise?
he had a mark on his
A
face.
mark on his face.
Because I was sitting here, like, kind of, like, come on, get mad, like, playing with him, and
Kind of play slap?
I was being, obviously, way too rough with him.
Can you give me just a time frame, approximate month, where all that first started?
He was removed from me May 7th of 2017.
2017.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Judah was born in June of the same year.
Okay. So, where did it go?
With my mom, like she wanted.
Okay. So then, shortly after, went to go stay with your mom. Judah was born.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did Judah come home with you?
I was given permission to live with my friend's mom, and she was like placement for him, but I was allowed by DCS to live there. So I lived there with him and her for like 3 months, and then she got upset because I wouldn't sell her my food stamps anymore. So
What address was that, and who were you staying with?
it was
Okay.
the apartment complex. Yes, sir.
Okay. And who were you staying with there?
Judah and my friend's mom and her kids.
Yeah. What's her name? Okay. So for a few months there, you were staying with Judah.
Yes, sir.
Who was with your mom?
Yes, sir.
And what about Al?
He was kind of just.
Because Judah, Alan is Judah's father.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The only one that he's not the father of is.
Okay. Where was Alan at with those first few months when you were living?
So I believe like the first month, like he didn't really have anywhere to go, and then we had got. Excuse me. We had got an apartment, or he had got an apartment because he was working for RL Roofing, and his boss had basically like offered to rent us out a place. So we got the place on 11th Street.
In Michigan City?
Yes, sir. And
do you remember when you moved to 11th Street?
not off the top of my head, no.
So it was June when Judah was born.
Yes.
You lived for a few months.
Yes.
And then moved to 11th Street with Alan.
Yeah.
So it was you, Alan, and Judah.
No. So she was still placement of him.
Okay.
But because I pissed her off, she called DCS and said she wanted him moved. And at which point he went to a foster home for like a month or two, and then he went to Gina, which was the cousin that he was with. up until
Okay. Whose cousin is that?
Alan's.
It's Alan's cousin.
Mhm.
You said her name's Gina?
Mhm.
Gina, who's her husband?
His name is Phil.
Phil. Where do they live at?
In like North Judson or San Pierre or something. I don't know. From what I understand, they may have been evicted, but I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But I don't know for sure because I haven't talked to them in months.
Okay. All right. So, at what point did you guys? Okay. So you had a couple other children after Judah.
Yes.
Were you guys living on 11th Street when those children were born? Okay, tell me about that.
So when I was born, we were living on A Street in LaPorte.
Alan was there with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And came home, and we were on like home visits, like they were partially supervised visits. I am so sorry.
That's okay.
Like barely functional right now. So we lived on A Street, and the older two and Judah were on like home visits, like not like home trial, but like home visits.
Okay. Supervised or no?
It started off as like partially supervised, and then it was unsupervised.
Okay.
And then we were going to start a home trial, but then we lost the apartment. So.
On A Street?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where did things go from there?
He was still with my mom, and Judah was still with Gina. And like I moved to my mom's house, and Alan kind of like, I think he like stayed with his mom a little bit, and then I don't really know like what he did. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't know really what he did other than that. Because my parents don't like him. And
so he never moved in with your mom?
No. My parents always hated him.
Okay. So you moved in with your mom for a short time period? Was that a long time period? How'd that go?
It was until about like, let's see, maybe May, and then we got the house. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. We got the house out there.
On A75?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When was that?
Like last summer.
Okay. Summer of 2020?
Yes, sir. And I was born like a couple months after we moved in there.
And stayed with you guys there at the house on A75?
Yes, sir. And did as well.
Came and was he?
Well, never was removed from us, and then, well, I kind of cussed out somebody at DCS, and they didn't like that, and I was standing there, and so they removed the kids because they said that I was like freaking out at, and it wasn't at, it was at her.
You're frustrated with DCS?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of like cussed the lady out, and she was like, "Yeah, that's not cool." So.
And at what point did, because all the children were living on 875, when did that merger, when did you guys all reunite at that residence?
This home trial ended around Christmas of last year. Ouch. And Judah's ended, I believe, in like May or the beginning of June, like the end of May. Beginning of June or something like that.
Once you guys were all back in the house, so it was Judah, you, and Al.
Yes.
You were all at the house there together.
Yes, sir.
How was the atmosphere there?
For a while, it was really good. Me and Alan have always had kind of like a on and off relationship, but.
How long have you guys been together total?
6 years.
Okay.
Since September 15th of 2016.
You guys went on and off
I mean,
from
we've been
2016 to current date.
Well, the longest we were actually like apart, like we weren't together was like a month.
Okay.
I mean, we like fought all the time.
What'd you guys fight about?
Stupid shit. Whether it was a guy that tried to like my picture on Facebook, or someone tried to message me even if I didn't know who it was. It could have been anything. Like, I could have just said something that was like what he considered stupid, and it would have been a problem.
What, he asked to see your Facebook account? Did he have access to your Facebook account?
I didn't like leave my phone locked or anything.
Okay.
Like, he could access my phone, but I didn't care.
You let him. You didn't have a problem with him?
No.
Would he often try to do that?
I couldn't really say because I don't know what he did while I was like asleep. He could have went through my phone while I was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sorry. I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure he did.
Okay. And just so I don't miss something, when did Judah? When did he join you guys in the house?
Like at the end of May or beginning of June or something like that of this year. Or not this year. Wait. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. May? You think May 2021?
May or June.
We can verify all that stuff through DCS on that. I just want to make sure that I'm on the same page. Okay. So you and Alan would fight. You guys been on and off. You guys would fight about stupid stuff, Facebook, whatever. How would things be with the kids, with and Judah?
There was no like issues up until like the last time that Gina and Phil came to the house.
And Gina and Phil had custody of Judah.
Judah, yes.
For a few years.
Yes.
Okay.
Most of his life,
Yeah.
And I guess I got frustrated because he had gotten in their car and taken their keys out of the ignition and took off, and he thought it was funny, and they didn't say anything to him about it, and I thought that was like not appropriate, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like went and grabbed the keys and gave it back. I didn't say anything to them, which in hindsight maybe I should have been like, listen, I don't think this is appropriate. But I didn't say anything. I kind of just handed them back their keys. But then they like asked to come see him and the rest of the boys, and I kind of just ignored them because I was frustrated, because I felt like I felt like they didn't like respect like
your rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because they carried him around everywhere, and he was almost 4, so I was like, you don't want to carry him around everywhere because he's almost 4. Like he's got to be somewhat independent,
So you had the issue with the keys, and then from that point you essentially cut Gina and Phil off, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then once that happened, I don't know if it was because of that, but I'm assuming it was. He started to kind of like act up, like he would start peeing his pants and pooping himself, and just
how long has that been going on? Excuse me.
like a couple months.
Okay.
But it didn't become like.
When was that? I didn't mean to cut you off. When was that last visit with Gina and Phil?
Like end of May, beginning of June, because they were the ones that like brought him over to the house when everything closed out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was about the same time.
So Judah started having some, you said, issues with peeing and defecating in his pants. Is that
Yes.
right? Tell me more about that.
It was. I don't really know if that's why, but it was just like whenever he didn't get what he wanted, he would pee or poop his pants, And, for a while it was like, okay, kids regress and, like, whatever. And then it started to get, like, frustrating. And Alan really, really, really didn't like it because we didn't have the money to get more pull-ups. And, I can't say that I wasn't frustrated with it either, but I didn't handle it the way that he did.
Okay, give me some examples how Alan would handle a situation where Judah had urinated or defecated in his pants.
So, like, for a long time, we just put him in pull-ups. And he kept...
Just at night or throughout the whole day?
Just throughout the whole day.
Okay.
Because he kept doing it over and over and over again. So, we were like, okay, well, let's not ruin clothes. Let's just put him in pull-ups. And then he just kept doing it. And then we didn't have the money for all these pull-ups because there's in pull-ups too. Mm-hmm. So we started just, like, putting, like, shorts on him. And then Alan was like, we're not doing shorts because he's not, like, he's still not going to the bathroom right. So then we would just put, like, a t-shirt on him or something. And then it got to the last couple of weeks where...
last couple of weeks up to the point where you were at the hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
Where Alan just, I don't know what's been going on. It's like ever since he got arrested with the car, he's been, like, weird. Like, because he got arrested because he was driving the car, my car, without a license, and he had weed on him, and, like, he blew my motor, and, like, it was just a whole big deal.
So that added to the stress of everything?
Yes.
Okay.
And I really don't know if I could say if that was... Because it didn't seem like it really affected him. It seemed like it was more... Because I was pissed about it. Like, I was like, that's childish and you shouldn't have done that.
Sure.
And he, he thought it was funny. It was, like, fast as boy. Like, it wasn't a joke.
So he's been, you said, not acting the same the last couple of weeks. How would he handle the situation with Judah?
He started bringing him downstairs and having him, like, kind of, like, do, like, an exercise, I guess. So he would have him, like, kind of do, like, an A. Like, he would kind of have him, like, not do a push-up, but, like, put his feet on the ground and then put his hands on the ground and kind of, like, stick his butt up in the air, thinking that maybe, like, doing, like, a workout would change something.
Okay, so I've not been to your house. Is this like a single-story house?
It's a, like, main floor, and then there's a basement.
A basement. So you say downstairs, you're talking about in the basement of the residence.
Yeah.
And explain the basement to me again. I apologize. I've not been to the house.
It's some old stairs that go down into, like, a really big basement that just has a bunch of crap in it.
Okay, so
Like, it's
mainly for storage. It's not really a living area.
No, that's the landlord's stuff. Like, that's all of his stuff.
Is there electricity down there?
Yes. But he kept the lights off most of the time because he was, I think, trying to, like, kind of scare him into behaving, I guess.
Okay, so there were lights down there, but Alan wouldn't turn them on when he took Judah down there?
Yes.
Okay. So that started in the last couple of weeks. He would take him down there and make him do this pyramid exercise.
Yes.
And what else?
And then he just continued to not do what Alan wanted and go to the bathroom. And there was multiple times where I would go downstairs because I would be upstairs with the other kids and I would hear a noise and I would open the door and he would be down there yelling at him. And I'd go down there and I would try and get him to stop.
What was he doing?
Punching him. He kicked him a few times. He taped his hands up to put him, like, up against the pole and tied his hands up.
What did he tie him up with?
Duct tape. And if he didn't answer him, he would punch him.
Did you see him do this?
And I tried to tell him to stop, and he kind of just told me to shut the fuck up and go away. You're not helping, just go away. and he wouldn't stop.
How long would they stay in the basement?
Like, I'd say between 2 to 5 minutes. I mean, it kind of differed. Sometimes he would just go down there, see if he was going to answer him, and then if he didn't answer him, he would come back upstairs and leave him down there for a couple hours, and then bring him back upstairs and see if he was going to go to the bathroom. And if he didn't go to the bathroom, then he would bring him back downstairs, or if he was ignoring him, he'd bring him back downstairs. There was times that he would carry him down to the basement by his neck.
Was Judah verbal? Was he screaming? Was he
tried.
begging?
He yelled.
What would he yell?
He just screamed. And I tried to explain, like, that it was not okay. And he just
To Alan or
didn't.
to Judah?
To Alan, it's like when he got in that mood, there was no...
In the last 2 weeks, how many times do you think Judah, to your knowledge, was taken downstairs to the basement?
I mean, there's a couple times he stayed down there for a few days. Like, he stayed down there for like 2 days.
Judah?
And then he would bring him up because Judah would start, going to the bathroom. And then he would stop again because the other kids got something that he didn't like, that he didn't. And then he would bring him back downstairs.
When Judah was left in the basement for 2 hours, for a couple days, would you guys bring him up to eat or take food down to him? Or how did that work?
It kind of depended on Alan's mood, I guess.
And if you guys didn't feed him, I mean, tell me that.
There was a couple times.
100% honest with me.
There was a couple times that Alan said, "Okay, well, if you don't want to answer me, you're not going to eat." And I was like, "You got to give him something. Like, you can't just starve him."
So there were incidents where Judah was withheld food.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would sneak him food when...
What would you sneak down there?
I would try and give him like a banana or some fruit or something so that he could eat something or drink something.
And Alan would let you take that down to him, or you would do it without him knowing, or how would that work?
Do it without him knowing, because if he knew, he would tell me that I'm coddling him or I'm spoiling him, or this is why he does what he does.
And when you would go down to give him this food,
I would try and talk to him.
To Judah, what would you say to him?
I would say stuff like, "Listen, I understand that you have a hard time going to the bathroom, but I really need you to try, because I don't want your dad to get mad, and I don't want him to get mad at you, and I don't want him to get mad at me, and I know you don't like this, and I don't like this, and I'm trying to help you, but I really need you to, please stop ignoring him, because there's only, I can't do anything when he gets mad, and I'm..."
What would Judah say to you?
He said he would tell me that he would go, and sometimes he would. But then as soon as he saw Alan or heard him, he would completely shut down and stop talking.
He'd freeze up.
And Alan got pissed off at him, and
Why do you think he would do that? Why do you think Judah would do that?
Because he was scared of him.
He was scared of him, right? He was scared of him. Now, obviously, the potty training issue would become frustrating as a parent. Tell me about when you get frustrated with Judah in those situations.
I've said mean things. I've called him stupid.
Called him stupid? Was that why he was in the basement?
There was one time because he wouldn't answer Alan, and I got pissed because I just wanted him to answer so Alan would stop. And I was like, "God, you're being fucking stupid."
Where did this take place at? Where at the house?
I had opened the door, and
the basement door?
Yes.
Would that door be locked?
No.
Okay. So you opened the basement door and you just yelled down at Judah?
Like, I would be like, listen, like, are you going to talk? Or, because your dad's going to, like, he's going to be pissed if you're not going to talk. Like, are you going to go to the bathroom? And he would say, like, if he would say no.
So you were frustrated with Judah, and you were frustrated with Alan too, right?
I don't think it was really frustrated with Alan. I think it was more, like, scared of what he could do to either of us.
But to the point where you would call Judah stupid for not talking because you didn't want Alan to blow up.
Yeah.
So you're stupid, right? Tell me about the times you because of your frustration, you took Judah down in the basement.
I mean, I personally never took him down there. That was always Alan.
So you never took Judah down, but you would go down and check on him, talk to him, maybe sneak him some food. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. Because I didn't like it. I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was horrible.
Did you think about reaching out to anybody?
I did. And I was scared. DCS.
Okay.
Family.
Okay.
The police.
Okay. What are you scared of?
Alan. Losing my kids. Because I didn't say anything and I was scared. And I knew that if I said something and Alan went to jail and he got bonded out, that it would either go, I would get kicked out and I would just get screamed at, or I would get my ass torn apart.
By Alan. He put his hands on you before?
Yes.
Okay.
While I was pregnant, while I wasn't pregnant.
Numerous times.
Yeah.
Would he hit you with a closed fist?
He had, yes.
Much like you had seen him do with Judah?
Yes, sir.
You saw him strike him and kick him?
Yes, sir.
Was that why his hands were bound up?
No, that was because he went upstairs and got in the fridge and got a Go-Gurt.
Okay. Okay. I had asked you a few minutes ago, and I think we got sidetracked a little bit. I want you to try to estimate. I'm not going to hold you to a number, okay? I want you to try to estimate how many times Judah was taken down to the basement as punishment.
Like in total?
Total. Now, it's my understanding this has been going about 2 weeks. Is it maybe a little bit longer than that?
I mean, it started, he didn't keep him, like, it started just as like a 5-minute thing.
Okay.
And it was like a little bit before that. Like, it wasn't like, it was, I think it really was just like originally just to like kind of scare him, because, you know, kids are like scared of the dark and monsters. And I think he thought that if it was dark down there and he was scared, that maybe he would stop doing it.
Okay.
And he didn't.
Okay. So even those 5-minute increments, just those first few that started several weeks ago, right? I want you to just try to estimate. I guess let's break it down. How many times would it happen per week?
2 or 3.
2 or 3 times per week. And we're talking.
I mean, that's, sometimes he like did really good. Like, there was times where, you know, he went like some days without, you know, peeing and pooping.
Okay.
And he just like, he was doing really good. And, you know, during those times, Alan was like super, you know, see, I knew you could do it. Like, you got this. You just have to like focus, and, you know, you wouldn't get in trouble if you would just do what you're supposed to do, type thing.
Okay.
And then, like, as soon as he had an accident, Alan completely just snapped.
He would snap. And that's when, what would happen?
Either he would tell him to go downstairs, or if he was ignoring him, he would carry him downstairs by his neck.
Mm-hmm. And you're upstairs on the main level when this took part, right?
Yes, sir.
And you could hear, I would assume, Alan yelling.
Yes, sir.
Could you hear Judah?
Sometimes he, like, didn't yell.
Okay.
Sometimes he did.
And you heard strikes, punches?
I mean, I heard kind of like, I was upstairs.
Yeah.
And when I would hear like the bang, I would try and open the door and be like, you need to stop, dude. Like, you need to fucking quit. Mind your business and go upstairs and take care of the other kids. No, dude, you need to fucking stop. And it was the same thing over and over and over again. It was, I'm coddling him, I'm babying him. This is why he does what he does.
Would Alan ever ask you to help with discipline down in the basement?
No.
So when Judah was bound, taped up, you said with duct tape, is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
With the duct tape. Where did the materials, where did the tape come from when that would occur?
He had got it from upstairs. The house was kind of a mess, so like sometimes it would be in our room because he was trying to tape up the air conditioning unit, or it would be in the kitchen. It kind of.
So did that become a common practice that
he did it like 3 days in a row.
3 days in a row.
And it really pissed me off because
it really pissed you off.
He wouldn't stop doing it. And I knew that I should have done something. But I guess I kind of gave up on trying to fight Alan over it. Mm-hmm. Because there was the other kids and the babies, and I didn't want them crawling, into the kitchen and hurting themselves, or falling down the stairs because he had left the door open or something.
Your hands were full with the other kids, right?
But that doesn't make it okay.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Take me to how things were just prior to you going to LaPorte Hospital to give birth to. You went on Saturday. Again, the date was the 10th. The 9th. I'm sorry, Saturday the 9th.
Yes, sir.
You called somebody to take you to the hospital. Who'd you call?
Morgan.
Okay. And Morgan drove to your house?
Yes.
Picked you up?
Yes.
How were things with all the kids? Specifically with Alan and Judah, when you left the house on the 9th. Saturday.
The day before his birthday. So, because I'm trying to think, I believe it was his birthday, so that was the 10th that he was sitting on the couch, I think.
Or
no, Judah.
Okay.
Is that when you saw him on the camera?
Yeah, he was wearing a yellow shirt, I think it was yellow, and some pants, and he was kind of just sitting on the couch watching TV, and the other kids were sitting there playing. And then...
So he was upstairs, everything, he wasn't down in the basement when you went to the hospital?
When I went to the hospital, I think he was, but he had brought him back upstairs.
Why did he bring him back upstairs?
I didn't ask him. He didn't say, hey, I'm going to go get Judah and bring him upstairs.
Was it because he knew somebody else was coming over to the house?
No. Because me and Morgan had already left.
You guys already left?
She didn't come in or anything. She just pulled up and picked me up.
But when you left the house, Judah was not down in the basement?
I believe he was.
You believe he was in the basement?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Because I think...
But you saw him on camera later?
I don't know if it was that day or the day after, but I do remember seeing him on camera, sitting on the couch.
Had you heard Alan yelling at Judah that day?
That day,
Saturday,
no, because it was kind of super stressful that day because I was in a lot of pain and I was very just anxious. And we had planned for me to go to the hospital and hopefully get induced.
Okay.
So we were I was cleaning a lot.
Okay, so how long had he been down in the basement then prior to you going to the Port Hospital?
He had been, I believe, down there the night before because Alan would have him sleep down there sometimes.
What would he sleep on down there?
There was a thick Sherpa blanket that was folded up.
Okay, so a thick blanket, just thrown on the, was it concrete floor?
Yeah, I think.
Concrete floor.
Yeah.
Would you have clothes on? Would you have missing stuff down there?
Well, when Alan felt like letting him wear pajamas, yeah.
Most of the time, was he unclothed?
There was quite a few times that he was naked, yeah.
Okay, so you go to the hospital. You believe you saw him on camera upstairs after that.
Yes.
Morgan takes you to the hospital. You get induced.
No, okay, I was at the hospital when I saw him on the camera.
On the 9th, Saturday the 9th. What time did you go to the hospital?
At 3 something in the afternoon.
Okay. All right.
I
don't want to get caught up on when you saw him on camera, but you're certain that you saw him on camera. Did you have any cameras in the basement?
No. Okay. There's a camera in the living room.
Okay.
There's a camera out. There's 2 cameras out, on the porch and on the driveway.
Okay.
And then there's one back in Micah and Dexter's room.
If you don't mind me asking, what's the purpose of having the camera in the kids' room? And was there one in the living room too, or no?
Yes, sir.
Those security cameras.
Well, there was a couple times where one time this guy had walked up into our house and had threatened us because his son tried to hit my dog on his dirt bike.
Okay.
So we didn't really
that would explain the outdoor cameras. I
Yes.
completely understand that. I'm just curious, and if you don't know, you don't know. But the camera in the living room and the one in the bedroom, the kids' bedroom.
So the kids' bedroom is kind of just to make sure they're asleep because he likes to get up super early in the morning.
Okay.
He has a hard time falling asleep. So
That makes sense.
when he's taking a nap, we would use that to make sure he's actually taking a nap.
Yeah.
And the living room was out in the living room because the other rooms he would get super hot and there was no AC unit.
Okay.
So we would have his crib right in front of the unit and we would play his lullabies on the TV.
Sure. So that's why the camera's out there is for whose crib's out in that living
Yes.
room. Okay. All right. So let's go back. You're at the hospital. What is the first indication to you that something is going sideways at the house?
He said that.
You talking Alan?
Yes. Sorry. He just had said that he had implied that he had went downstairs, and I was just leave him alone. Ignore him, leave him alone. Just stop. Just let him be.
Do you remember how long that was after you've been to the hospital?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, it was.
Would you guys communicate through text messages, Facebook Messenger?
Called him,
Calls?
Yeah, most of the time I was calling him because it was a lot easier for me, with everything all hooked up and stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, I did message him and whatnot.
Through what?
Facebook.
Through Facebook. Okay, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're okay.
So he reached out to you. He indicated, was that a cell phone call or text message?
He had messaged me.
Through Facebook?
Yes.
And he had mentioned that we went downstairs.
I don't remember exactly what he had said, but he had said something, and I had told him, leave him alone, ignore him, just let him be. Just stop. Quit fucking with him. Because I was getting irritated, and, I was if he's being an idiot, then just leave him alone, because I was just kind of tired of, I was in the hospital. I didn't want to hear anything. I was being ignorant. And he said, so the next time I heard anything about it, he was calling me saying that he had went down there. He was like, well, you had told me to ignore him, so I brought him a sandwich, and I just went down there, and I don't know what's going on. And it seems like he's like not breathing and I'm freaking out and I don't know what to do. I was like, you need to call somebody. Alan, like, what do you mean? Like, there's no, like, you need to call somebody. He's like, I'm going to go to prison. I was like, Alan, at this point, if he's hurt or if he is choking or whatever it may be, you need to call somebody. And he was like, no, and don't call anybody. I'm like, Alan, I need to get help. He's like, no, don't you fucking call anybody. And I mean, it's like, if I was there, he would have done something to me for saying, you know, that I was going to call somebody. But I wouldn't have allowed that shit. You know, like, I wouldn't have, you know, just ignored him. Like, I didn't mean, like basically tell him to shove off. Like, I wanted him to just not bother him. Like, I wanted him to just leave him alone. Like, that was my whole point. Like, just stop going down there. Just stop. Leave him alone. I didn't mean bring him a sandwich and then just disappear. I meant just don't touch him, don't talk to him, leave him alone. And I tried to, like, figure out what was going on because he wasn't, like, making a lot of sense. And all I could really hear were noises. And I asked him what was going on, and he said he was, like, 91 degrees.
How would he know that? Was he?
We have a thermometer that scans, like, has a little light, and it scans.
Okay.
And I was like, Alan, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I don't know if he choked. Like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, okay, well, I need to call somebody. He's like, no, like, I'm going to figure this out. Like, I got this. I'm like, no, you don't, because you wouldn't have called me if you didn't know what was going on. He was like, I've been trying to do CPR on him for an hour. And I was like, Alan, what the fuck? Like, this is not okay. Like, this is bad. Like, I need to go get somebody. So I kind of lied to him and said that the nurse was coming in. And I called Jesse, which is his brother. Okay. And I said, Jesse, there's a fucking problem. Because he's calling me saying that Judah's, like, getting cold and he doesn't know what's going on, but he hears his heart rate, but it's like quiet or whatever. And Jesse was like, you need to fucking call somebody.
Where's Jesse live?
Like, I thought it was Michigan City, but I guess it's, like, listed as LaPorte.
Okay. So you called Jesse.
And he was like, I know that's my brother, but you need to call somebody. So then I hung up on him, and then I called Alan back because I wanted to know if he was okay. Like, I was like, what's going on? Like, tell me he's okay. Like, tell me that there's nothing wrong. And he was like, I can't. Like, I don't know what to do.
Where are you at when these phone calls were taking place?
Like, in my hospital room.
In your room. Okay. Is there anybody else in there with you?
No.
Okay.
And so he had said that he didn't know what was going on. So again, I hung up on him and called Jesse again. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go call somebody. So I went over to Morgan's room. I went over to the nurse's desk and I said, I need to be discharged now. Like, I need to go get my kid. I don't know what's going on, but there's an emergency and I need to leave now. She was like, okay, is there something I can, like, help you with? I was like, no, I don't know, but I need to go get my kids. I need to go make sure my kids are okay. And then I went to...
Remember which nurse that was?
Jana.
Okay.
You know which one I'm talking about.
Okay.
But so I went to Morgan's room and said there's a fucking problem. And I told her what was going on, and I was honest with her that I was scared that Judah was seriously hurt. And she was like, we need to call somebody. So she called, and then I called at basically the same time. And
when she called 911, you're on the phone with Al?
No, with Jesse. And then I am told...
You were on the phone with Jesse, okay.
Like, when I walked in her room, I believe I was on the phone with Jesse. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go because I'm going to call. He's like, you need to. Like, call them now.
You called Alan after?
No, I called the ambulance.
Called 911.
Yes.
So you went into Morgan's room.
And I was in Morgan's room when I
You were
called.
on the phone with somebody, not 911.
No, I was on the, like, I had called 911 while I was in there.
But not initially, because when Morgan's on the phone with 911, you're talking with somebody else.
With Jesse.
With Jesse.
And then I hung up on Jesse and called.
911.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I tried to explain what was going on. And they said they were sending officers out.
And then is that when you called Alan and told him that you were sorry? But you
I said, I'm sorry, but I can't choose you over my kids. And he said, fuck you, you stupid bitch, I'm leaving. And then evidently, somehow Jesse got word that apparently he was hiding in the woods trying to kill me, I guess. So they wouldn't let me leave the hospital. And Morgan said she wouldn't take me over there to get the kids because I wasn't safe. And I said, I don't give a shit. If I'm not safe, I want to go get my kids. And she was like, I'm sorry, Mary, but I'm not taking you. I was like, okay, but I need to go get my kids. And nobody was going to let me leave. And I tried to get somebody to just take me, but nobody would take me.
Okay.
And then we went in the room, and the officers showed up. And
Okay. We'll go back a little bit. Obviously, we've asked a lot of questions, and we've talked a lot about Judah.
yes, sir.
How was Alan with the other kids?
Like, awesome. And it used to be like that with Judah too. It really, like, all of them, you know, they all.
The potty training issues started not soon after he showed up. He started living with you guys on 875, right?
Yeah, I mean, he did good for like the first like couple months, but then it kind of just stopped. And then he just, like, he would go, like, he would use the bathroom like he was supposed to. And then Alan was like, oh, yeah, you're doing good. And then he would stop as soon as.
Did the other kids need any type of discipline action in the last 6 months?
I mean, in the last 6 months, yeah.
Sure. Tell me about some of those. What was it? I mean,
Just,
mainly, or was it?
I mean, not at all.
Okay.
But, I mean, like, so, like, if he woke up and he kept getting up and kept getting up, you know, I would spank his butt a little bit, you know, but, like, it was open hand on his diaper and just kind of, like, lifted up his leg and tapped his butt. And, like, kind of, well, with Alan used a belt, but it wasn't, like,
What to do?
he used to do this thing where he would throw up when, like, my mom would get brought up, because it was kind of like a trigger for him. But Alan hasn't done that in a really long time, so he hasn't, like, been in trouble.
Okay. Well, tell me about when Alan used the belt.
I mean, it's been quite some time, but, you know, he would just take the belt and spank him 3 times, and I mean,
Because I threw up.
well, he would try and make himself gag, and that really pissed Alan off. I mean, there was times where I, like, raised my voice at him about it too, because I didn't want him to do what he was doing, and I wanted Alan to not do anything, and I figured that if I, like, said, okay, you need to stop fucking doing that shit, that maybe Alan would take me like trying to say something to him as like enough to where he wouldn't be like angry, I guess.
Who would do the majority of the disciplining with the children? But there were times where you would also discipline. Right?
There was times where, there was times where, if he wouldn't, like, go lay down and take a nap,
You're talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I would, like, move his leg and tap his butt and be like, all right, you need to go to bed, dude. And he would, and then he would put his binky in his mouth, and then he would lay back down. Like, there was times, because I was pregnant, it was really hard for me to lift him up, and this is not, like, it wasn't because, I was trying to do it to be mean, but he dead weighted, and, like, I couldn't pick him up off the floor. Like, I couldn't bend down to pick him up all the way. So, usually he was, like, standing up. He would try and open our bedroom door, and I'd be like, no, you need to go lay down. So I would, like, grab his hand, and he would just drop. So I'm like, okay. So I, like, kind of had to, like, pull him in the room and, like, lift him up with the one hand because I couldn't, like, physically pick his whole body up because it was hard for me.
Okay. Was Alan working?
Sometimes.
Occasionally.
He didn't work much up until, like, a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Like, he had taken off Thursday and Friday of last week because I had the doctor's appointment Thursday.
Okay.
And
had you been working?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So Alan was working occasionally. Took off Thursday, Friday, because you guys probably knew that this birth was going to.
Well, we were hoping so, yeah. I thought when they swept my membranes that it was going to be like almost instantaneous, but it wasn't.
Okay. I want you to. I mean, you've told me that you were frustrated with Judah as well in this situation with him peeing his pants and defecating, pooping.
Yeah.
And I feel that you've been very honest with me with a lot of the things that you saw transpire with Alan. But I think you might be minimizing some.
I mean, there's been times where, like, he was being, doing what he was doing, and I would, like, kind of, like, okay, dude, like, come on, stop being stupid, like, stuff like that.
Stopping. So you'd swat him in the back of his head?
Yeah.
Would that be in the basement or upstairs?
Upstairs. Like,
okay.
I don't know. Like, if he wasn't listening, I would just kind of, come on, man. But...
So you would try to redirect him with a simple swat to the back of the head?
Yeah.
Did you strike him with an open hand?
I mean, I spanked his butt before, yes.
His butt, okay. Sometimes kids might need that. Did it ever become excessive?
No.
Was there ever a time where you're like, you know what, I took a little too far?
I always felt like that. Every time. Like, if I make my kids upset in any way, I always feel like I did too much.
Did you ever hit him with an object?
No.
A belt?
No.
Did you ever see Alan hitting him with anything besides his hand?
I feel like once or twice. I don't remember what it was because I was more focused on trying to get him to stop than I was whatever he was trying to hit him with.
That was in the basement? Or was that upstairs?
Yeah. It was in the basement.
Does Alan smoke?
Smoke weed? Yeah.
Cigarettes?
No.
I've seen pictures of Judah from this morning. He was bruised.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Head to toe.
Everywhere.
The worst I've ever seen. In a long along with the bruises, there appear to be some burn marks. I want you to try to help clear up how those would happen.
Burn marks, I wouldn't know. I honestly wouldn't know about burn marks.
Was that something that Alan would ever threaten?
Burning him? No. If he did, I wouldn't have known about that.
There are steps with Judah that have not taken place yet, meaning there'll be further examinations with him. I wasn't there, but I've seen some photos, and what has been relayed to me was it was quite possibly some type of burn mark underneath his chin and on his.
That was because Alan would push him down on the floor in the basement.
On the concrete?
And he would hit his chin.
Did you see him push him down?
Yeah, I told him that's too much.
You told him it was too much?
I always did. And he never stopped.
Did you guys have carpet upstairs?
In one room, yes. In the living room.
Told him to stop because it was too much, but he never did. But he didn't take that extra step, right?
No, didn't. And I should have. But I didn't. There's no reason, there's no excuse for why I didn't. I mean, I was scared, yeah. I didn't want to lose my kids. I didn't want to lose him. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to protect Judah, but I couldn't because I was too scared. Because I had been in the place before. He had hurt me before, and I guess I was selfish, and I didn't want to.
You let Judah take the beating.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I didn't know. I couldn't stop him.
You could have stopped him.
I tried. I literally tried to pull him off, and he wouldn't stop.
How long would you watch him do it?
I wouldn't watch him. I would go down there and I would try and say something, and I would try and talk to Judah, and it wouldn't stop. So I went back upstairs and tried to deal with the other kids, and then either he would come back upstairs or he wouldn't. And if he didn't, I would go back and be like, you need to fucking stop. You need to come upstairs. You need to fucking quit. And then if he would come upstairs, sometimes he would push me out the way.
Did you ever try to call 911 during one of those incidents?
No, I did not.
Did you reach out to a family member? DCS? Did you scream out the front door?
No. So I didn't know what to do. I knew what I should do, but
And you told Jesse that you fucked up, right?
Yeah. I said I fucked up by not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because I should have said something. I should have done something.
And you told him prior to calling the police, you told him that you fucked up, that we fucked up, meaning you and Alan.
Yeah, because he was doing what he did, and I didn't do anything about it.
Here's one thing I want to make sure that we're clear on, Mary.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you talking with me to help me piece this back together. I need to make sure that your involvement isn't any more than what you've told me to this point. Because if we do find out down the road,
I totally understand that.
Okay, you know that
I have.
We've been trying to be here with you and help you through some of your thought process here and a lot of this. Okay, so we've been here with you. I'm not against you in any of this, but I've got to know that your involvement wasn't any more than what you've told me up to this point. that you didn't put your hands on him. You did not help Alan in some of those situations. Because if you did, just tell me.
There was times where I stood there because I didn't know what to do, okay?
You stood there and didn't know what to do because you were scared of Alan and didn't know how to handle the situation. Did you help with the beating of Judah?
No. There had been time, like I had slapped him in his face one time. I did, slap? Yes.
Okay.
I had,
was
like I said.
Was that in the basement?
I think, yeah,
okay.
It was, because I got really frustrated and I was just like, dude, just fucking tell him what he wants to know.
I get that. You're frustrated with him just not saying anything. I understand that.
I just wanted him to talk so that Alan wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Did you take Judah downstairs?
No.
To have that conversation with him? He was already down there.
Yes.
So you went down and said, dude, just talk. Talk to your dad. So everybody will settle down, right? And you open hand slapped him. Right?
Yes, one time I did.
One time.
And I felt immediately like a piece of shit. Because I didn't want to make him feel like Alan did. Because he started to trust me. Because he would talk to me. And he wouldn't talk to Alan. As soon as he heard Alan coming or saw Alan, he would shut down. And I was like, please don't. Please, Judah, please don't. Just tell him just give him some kind of answer, man. Please just tell him something. And he would just shut down. And I was too much of a piece of shit to say anything.
You know, we talked earlier about how all you wanted was Alan to love you the way you loved him. Do you think that just by talking with Judah and being there,
that it pissed him off?
No. And slapping him, do you think that that's something that you wanted to do to help please Alan too?
No, not at all. Not at all. There is no pleasing Alan.
He's just never happy.
Sometimes when he's smoking weed, playing Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, like, I could say anything, ask him a question, and he'd be like, the fuck is wrong with you? I was just asking you a question. Okay, well, you're being obnoxious, so just stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have said something.
You might have covered this, and I apologize if you did.
It's okay.
You called Alan prior to calling 911, right?
Yes.
And you stated to him, we fucked up.
No, I told Jesse that.
I'm sorry, you told Jesse that. You told Alan's brother Jesse, we fucked up. What do you mean by that?
I meant that I didn't do shit, and now Alan's saying that something happened to him, and I could have done something.
You feel like you could have put a stop to this long before it ever got to this point, right?
And I didn't.
You did. Okay.
Earlier, I wanted to touch on something before I forgot. Earlier you said you saw him on camera, you saw Judah on camera one of the days that you were at the hospital.
Yeah.
Was that during his birthday party?
No, that was that party was in the morning.
Was Judah somewhere else? Does he go anywhere else? Does he go see friends or family or anything at all? Does he visit anybody?
We don't have visitors. Like, we never really did, because nobody ever wanted to drive all the way out to where we lived at.
Is any of your kids friends with any of the neighbors?
I mean, he goes to school, but the people that lived next door to us, we didn't talk to them. And then the people that lived on the other side were way down, and they are older. So.
Okay. So Judah wouldn't have gone anywhere else while you were at the hospital?
No.
Even prior to, he doesn't go and see any friends anywhere close?
They don't really have, the only person that would have friends is Micah.
Okay, so was there any reason that Judah would have been at one of your friends' house?
No.
Yesterday during his birthday party?
No.
Not at all. And
No.
how are you positive on that?
Because I know that he wasn't.
Okay.
Like, I know for a fact that he wasn't.
Okay. How do you know for a fact?
Because it was first thing in the morning when Jesse had came over there.
Came over where?
To the house.
For what?
His birthday.
Okay. And who confirmed that Judah was at the house?
There was no confirmation, but I knew he was there.
But if you knew for a fact, help me understand that. Help me understand how you knew for a fact that Judah was at the house yesterday.
Because he wouldn't have taken him anywhere.
Who wouldn't have?
Alan.
You wouldn't have let him go down the street?
No.
See a friend?
There's no other kids that my kids played with on our street. Like, we just kind of stayed to ourselves, I guess.
Did Alan tell you where Judah was during his birthday?
In the basement. He didn't tell me, but I knew that's where he was.
Okay. And he was in the basement throughout the whole day?
I don't know if it was all day. Because I was kind of talking to doctors and stuff all day, so, I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Did you get to see his birthday party on the camera?
Kind of.
Who was all there?
Alan video called me.
Okay. Who was all there?
Just Jesse, Alan.
Okay. Does Jesse know where Judah was, or did he even ask?
I told him afterwards. I'm assuming that the whole friend's house thing was something that Alan told Jesse, that he was at a friend's house.
But there's no way he would.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Because I think Jesse had asked, what the fuck was going on, and I was like, or he had asked something about, where Judah was, or something along those lines. And I know that Alan had said that he told him that, he was at a friend's or something. But I told Jesse that was bullshit. I said, Alan fucking lied to you.
When did Jesse ask you that question?
I think it was when I called him the first time.
Yeah.
I believe.
So Jesse had no idea what Judah was going through?
No.
What Alan was doing?
No.
Anybody else have any idea?
No. Because he told me not to tell anybody.
And you don't think he would confide in anybody?
No. Alan doesn't talk to anybody. He wouldn't.
Is he close with his brother Jesse? Or are you closer with Jesse?
Well, he was close with Jesse, but not close enough.
Mm-hmm.
I told him I was going to call Jesse, and he said, no, don't. And I was like, no, I'm calling him. I don't know what to do. I need help. He needs help. I'm calling. Because I wanted Jesse to go over and try and help Alan, because obviously Alan was panicking and something was very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesse said, I can't get over there, so you need to call somebody. Something doesn't feel right. And I was like, I know. He was like, so call now.
Would anybody else ever babysit or take the kids or come visit? Did any of them have
Nobody
friends?
ever came inside like that.
Okay. And did any of the kids have friends at all?
I know I did at school.
Did he go see them at all? Get to go visit?
No, because for a long time our van was broken, so. It wasn't broken, but it was illegal to drive, so.
Okay. And was he the only one that was going to school?
Yes.
Okay. And that was what school?
Kingsford Heights Elementary.
And I know you mentioned his teacher earlier. What's his teacher?
Her name's Miss Schreiber.
Miss Schreiber. Okay. Do you like her?
I've never met her.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
There's a couple of things that I want to just try to clarify with you, okay, as I'm thinking about some of the things we've talked about a lot. I just want to make sure, again, that I'm on the same page with you and have a clear picture to this whole situation. This basement door, I think I'd asked you if Judah had been locked down there. That door does have a lock.
It does, but it never was used.
So what kind of lock is it?
I think it's one of the little turn ones.
Like you need to have a key to turn it, or
I don't think-
just flip it?
No, you just flip it.
You just flip it, like a deadbolt type.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was on a handle.
It was on a handle. Okay. So there is a lock, and that lock is on, it would be like on the main floor.
Yes.
Okay. And
But he wouldn't lock it because he wanted him to use the bathroom. So he would close the door, but he didn't lock it. At least not that I knew of. He said he never locked it. He said he was going to let him go to the bathroom.
what about when he would have to stay overnight down there?
Never locked it.
And Judah would just stay down there?
I think he would get up and go to the bathroom sometimes.
Bathroom on the main floor?
Yes.
And then have to go back down?
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying to your knowledge that lock was never utilized to prevent Judah from coming up to the main floor of the house?
No. I personally never used it. I never touched it. No.
You never found that door to be locked and then would unlock it so Judah could come up?
I don't even think that lock works, to be honest with
Has that been on there since you guys moved in?
you. Yes.
You guys didn't put that lock on?
No.
Tell me about situation where Alan was at work and Judah peed his pants. How did you handle that?
Well, I would change him and so what I tried to do is while Alan was at work, I tried to not do any really punishment because I wanted him to be upstairs with the other kids. So,
You tried not to, but there were occasions where you would do some sort of punishment.
or I just didn't do anything because I thought Alan would notice and that he would get mad at me, or he would get mad at Judah because I tried to let him be upstairs. And I don't know.
But there was a situation, and again, I'm not here pointing fingers. We need to make sure that we're on the same page. There was a situation where when Alan was at work, you did take Judah to the basement after he had peed his pants, all right?
If he was already down there, then I don't think so. I may have,
Yes.
but
I'm very confident in that, and that's what I want to make sure that we talk about, that situation,
Okay.
and how that differed from when you took him down and when Alan took him down.
whenever he was down there and I was the only one home, I didn't do any of the stuff that he did. I would have him at the most just lay down on the blanket and be like, okay, well, just lay down, get some rest. If you need to pee, come upstairs and go to the bathroom.
So this situation, when Judah peed his pants, did you change him out and then make him go downstairs, or did he have to go downstairs and change out, or did you just take his clothes off, or how
I
did that work
honestly
out?
don't remember.
You don't remember that situation?
I don't remember the specifics. I don't remember if I made him change.
Okay, that's fair. And if you don't remember,
I don't.
but you do recall that situation where you sent Judah to the basement.
Vaguely, yes.
Well, tell me what you remember about it.
I don't really remember much. I just know that I had told him, okay, you know what? Then just go downstairs. If you're not going to listen, I don't know what else to do. So just go down there and lay down. And if you need to go to the bathroom, come upstairs.
Did you have to force him down there?
No,
So you didn't have to carry him by his neck like Alan would?
no. I wouldn't have, no. Absolutely not.
Okay, and I want to take you back to 20 minutes ago, half hour ago, when I told you that you have been very honest with a lot of what's going on, but I felt that you're minimizing your involvement with some of this, and that's normal, okay? It's normal
Because
for someone...
I know I should have done something.
I know, you've already told me that, but it's normal for someone to say, yes, here's, I'm involved with this, I should have done more, and then hold on to some of this outlining stuff that could be very important for this investigation.
I'm not trying to
I know you're not. I just want to make sure, okay? Because before when we talked, you had told me that you never took Judah downstairs, or even made him go downstairs. But now we know that that's not entirely the case. That there were some situations where you had told Judah, you need to go downstairs.
Yeah.
Right?
How
many times do you think that happened, Mary?
Not very many.
5 times?
I don't. Maybe.
Maybe 5 times?
Over the course of everything, maybe.
Sure. Since he started living with you in April, May?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
5 times. And in those times, you never had to force him to go downstairs. You just told him to go downstairs.
Not that I remember, no.
And every time that you would do that, would Alan always be at work, or sometimes was he home when you told him to go downstairs?
I couldn't tell you. It could have been both. I don't really honestly remember.
Are there times where you told him to go downstairs and then Alan went down and had a discussion and disciplined?
And then I followed him down there and told him to stop. And he was like...
Okay. So what I'm asking though is, you told Judah to go downstairs.
Because I figured that maybe if I said something and just had him go sit downstairs or something, that maybe Alan wouldn't do anything.
But that didn't happen. Alan still went downstairs, right?
Some of the times, yeah.
Some of the times. So it wasn't always Alan that told or forced Judah to go downstairs. I'm just trying to get a clear picture of what happened in this situation.
I know.
And only you, Alan, could give us any insight on that. The other kids are too young, right?
Yeah.
The secrets that we hold within our house can only be told by a few.
I'm not trying to hide anything.
Maybe not at this point, but for a while there you did, right?
I mean, that wasn't my intention. I have a lot of stuff going through my head right now. I'm not...
I understand. I don't understand. I could see how you have a lot of thoughts going through your head. I've never been in your position. I can't tell you that I understand how you feel. It's not accurate. But I can only imagine the last couple days are a complete whirlwind. Worst nightmare ever, right?
That's
and the only
not
thing,
even described.
Not even the right words, I'm sure. The only thing we could do, Mary, at this point, is try to make things as right as we can.
But there's no way to make it right.
Judah, sure there is. There's justice.
How, though? How is there justice?
By us having a 100% picture of what happened there. It's never going to bring him back.
No, it's not.
It's not.
That's not. That's not.
But we have to do what we can from here on out for him. To hell with everybody else with Alan. And if your involvement is any more than what you told us, we need to know about today.
I'm being I'm going to be straight up.
Straight up.
My memory really does, it's really foggy sometimes. So if it's like, oh, well, did you, I'm like, oh, you know what, maybe, because it's not there's always so much stuff going on. I'm always busy. I was always trying to clean the house. I was always trying to change diapers and do laundry. And
you're busy. You got a 2-year-old, 1-year-old, Judah, who's 4, and is obviously having some troubles with some discipline stuff, peeing and defecating, and your 7-year-old, who you got to make sure is going to school and doing all schoolwork, right?
Yes, sir.
Your plate's full. We get that, and we understand that There are times where you're frustrated.
But that doesn't make it okay for me not to have done anything.
You're right. I 100% agree with you. You and I are on the same page with that.
And I think you say that your memory is a little foggy, but you remember every time that Alan's hit you. And I know you're sitting here replaying the memories of watching Alan hit and strike and bound Judah. I know you can see it. It's written all over your face. So your memory's clear today. Because that's going to replay over and over because you said, what?
I'll never forgive myself for not doing anything about it. Because all it would have taken is one phone call. And I was too scared to say anything to anybody. So I didn't. And now, because I didn't say anything,
Okay. Mary, were you, have you been released from the hospital? Medically, you've been released?
I mean, I asked to be released so I could go get my kids.
You guys, everything signed out, all that stuff?
She discharged herself.
Self-discharge, okay.
Yeah. So I asked the OB, she's not welcome back to the OB because once she discharged herself.
And they told me that. They were like, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I need to go.
Okay.
I do want to revisit a question that came to mind. You said you would let him come up and use the restroom when he was ready to use the restroom, correct?
I mean, it wasn't really about letting him come up. I mean, he knew that if he needed to go to the bathroom, to just come upstairs and go to the bathroom.
Okay. But he was under the impression that he was to the basement. Once he was told to stay in the basement, he was in the basement. Would there be any reason why in the basement there would be soiled potty trainer of sorts, or a bucket or something with soil?
Yeah, because Alan had a potty seat down there. And he sometimes told him, don't even worry about it until you can decide you want to go on that, then don't,
So that was down there
for him to use the bathroom.
for him to use the restroom. Yeah. So a lot of times he wouldn't even come upstairs then.
Not a lot of times, no.
Because he was under the impression that he had to stay in the basement to use the bathroom.
I mean, he definitely used that little seat part because we couldn't find the actual seat itself.
Okay.
So Alan had just put that down there.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to understand that.
You have any questions for us, Mary?
I just want to, I want to, I mean, I can't fix it, but I want to do what I can to, I will never feel like there will be justice served for what happened, and I'll always hate myself for not saying anything. But if there's anything that I can do to help in any way, I want to do that. because it's not right and it's not fair what happened. And if I would have just made one phone call, you know, there's no excuse. I should have said something. There's no excuse. It didn't matter if I was scared. I should have said something. Point blank, period. It is what it is. I should have called somebody, said something. And I didn't.
I'm going to ask that as much as you can be, try to be patient with us for the next few minutes until we figure out the next steps on where we go on that next step. Okay. Remember I talked to you earlier today. Let's take this all one step at a time. Took you to the hospital. We were there for a little bit. Then you came back over here. We're going to try to figure out that next step. Okay. I'm not sure what that is yet. So if you could, as much as you can, be patient with us for the next few minutes, and we're going to try to figure that out. And might pop in and talk to you and see if there's anything we can do for you. But it's going to take us a few minutes. Okay.
So by a few minutes, you mean like I'm going to be sitting here for a while?
Well, we can get you some water, and we still have those sandwiches if you're hungry.
I don't want any food. I just want to see my kids.
Do you want to lay your head down for a minute?
No.
I know you want to see your kids, and we're trying to work towards, what those next steps are. But there's a lot in play with this, and a lot of people that are involved that we have to talk to let them know some of the information that we have. Okay, what we're learning about this whole situation, and that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
And we can't make immediate decisions on that. It has to be kind of a thought-out process, collaboration with other individuals.
Okay.
So, again, just ask that you try to be patient as much as you can be with us for a few minutes here until we can figure out what that next step is going to be. And as soon as we know, we're going to come talk to you about it.
Okay.
Okay?
And I'll check on you, make sure.
Is that fair? I don't want to make you sit in here more than you have to, that you already have, okay? But we also can't just make knee-jerk reactions. We have to collaborate and talk to some other people about this.
I know.
All right.
I'll check on you, I promise.
Can I bring you anything right now?
Well, I would like to get my phone so I could, because I need to get a hold of my lawyer for the court stuff on Friday that I was supposed to have, because he had called me earlier and I never called him back.
Oh, for the child custody?
Yeah,
right?
well, it was visitations.
Oh, the
but yeah.
visitations, okay.
I'm going to be, and I've been very honest with you all the way up to this, and you've been honest with us. That phone is now evidence. So you're not going to get your phone back. That phone is being held as evidence at this point.
Okay.
Okay. Just me being upfront with you, and I don't want to tell you, we'll get you your phone when I know that phone's not coming back.
Okay, so you guys are going to detain me. That's what's going to happen.
We don't know
because
that.
that's why you guys are being like this right now.
Being like what?
Because you guys think that I'm just trying to play around right now.
No.
You think that I'm...
Not at all.
I think you're honest.
I think you've been honest with a lot of things, and we worked through some things that you didn't totally recall. But no, I'm not. I don't think you're trying to be evasive with us or misleading. I told you I appreciated you speaking with us to try to create, show us, what led up to all this happening, and I do appreciate that.
These are just tough questions. I told you it was going to be tough.
I just don't want to keep sitting in here. I get that you guys have to ask questions, but I
we need to go talk to some other individuals, and then we're going to let you know where we can go from here.
And the faster that we can go talk to them, the sooner we can come back and get the
People,
answers.
can I like go to the bathroom?
Yes, we can make some arrangements for you to use your restroom. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
Do you have to close the door?
No, not all the way. I'll leave it propped open, okay?
Let me get those answers for you. Have a seat. Make sure you don't want any water.
Can I like call my mom or something?
All right, now, just first sit down, okay? And
just
take a few deep
it's
breaths.
making me really anxious. Like,
Have a seat. So you don't
I've been sitting in rooms all day and it's
take your breaths, okay? I will be right back.
God. I know I should have said something, and I'm sorry. I shouldn't have just been scared. God, please forgive me for not being the mom I should have been, for not standing up more. God, please forgive me. Please, God, forgive me. Because I'm being as honest as I can. And I'm scared. Because I know that I should have done something more. And I didn't. And I don't know what to do. God, please forgive me. Please give me a chance to make this right. Please, because I will do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to help them with what they need. Please, God, please. I'm sorry. And please tell my boy I'm sorry too. Because I should have stood up for him more. I should have protected him more, God. I should have called somebody. And I didn't. And God, please give me a chance to fix this. Please. I know there's no fixing it. I know there's not. But give me a chance to make something right. Please. I know I haven't had faith in you. And I know I've said that you weren't real. And I know that I haven't been praying or being a good Christian in any way. And I'm sorry, God. But please, I'm begging you, please forgive me for not being a better mom and protecting my kids more. Because if I would have just stood up and made that phone call, this wouldn't be happening right now. None of it. But because I was too scared to make a phone call. God, I'm begging you, please. Please forgive me. Please. Please, God, please forgive me. And please give me a chance to make this right. Please. I don't know what to do, God. I screwed up. I didn't say anything. I just stood there sometimes because I didn't know what to do. I called him stupid. I don't know what to do, God, please. Please, God, give me another chance. Please give me a chance to make this right, God, please. Please, God. I'm sorry. I should have said something, God, please. Please, God, give me another chance to make this right somehow. And I know it'll never be right, God, but please. I will do whatever it takes. Please, God, please. I know I should have said something, God. I know I should have. And I didn't. And that's my fault. God, please forgive me. Forgive me for being so scared of... I don't even understand why I thought that I was... I don't know. God, please, I'm begging you. Forgive me for not standing up. Because now I'll never be able to. I don't know what to do. Please, God. I am honestly begging you with all my heart. Please, let me help them fix whatever can be fixed. Whatever justice I can bring him, even though it's not justice. Whatever I can do, God, I want to do it to help. Because I know I should have said something. And the least I can do, the most I can do now is try and help. So please, God, I'm begging you. Please give me a chance. Please give me a chance away from Alan. Give me a chance to get my life together and be the mom that I know I can be. Because Alan he tore my whole heart apart. My life, my emotions. God, please. I need to prove to my children that I'm not just a stupid, selfish person that couldn't say anything. Please, God. I just don't know what to do. Please, dear God, I will do whatever it takes to help them with anything. Please. trying to be honest with them, but I don't think they believe me. And I'm trying to be honest because I'm trying to tell them everything that I can remember, anything that could be of any help. And I just don't know what to do.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna ask you again. Do you want any food?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, you know you haven't ate.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
I know, like I've probably bothered you a bunch about it.
I can't.
But here's the thing. I really would like to see you eat. Okay? Because, and this is just between, listen, just please stop asking me questions, okay? Hold on. Okay, I am in here because I just want to make sure that you, either eat or get some more water, okay? Because you've been up a while and you haven't ate. They're still discussing whatever they're discussing. Okay, I have zero answers for you. My concern right now is you eating. Are you sure? Are you positive? Because I have a bunch of Subway sandwiches out there. A cookie.
I can't.
Okay, why can you not eat something for me?
Because I just can't, like, I don't feel good. Like, I'm just stressed. I'm, like, I know, like,
Okay.
I know I screwed by not saying anything, and I'll never, like, I can't wrap my head around it, okay? Like, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to, like, help you guys. I'm trying to give you guys all of the information that I can, but I feel like it's not enough, and I don't know what to do, okay. And I'm trying, but I'm, like, freaking out because I don't know what's going on.
Okay. I know. Let them finish discussing. But I told you, one, that I would check on you while they were still discussing. I told you that because I care about you. I care about what is happening, and I care that you haven't ate, and you're postpartum.
But I want them to understand that I didn't want, like, this is not what I wanted. Like, I tried to stop him, okay? I did.
Okay.
And I really didn't know what else to do, okay? I really didn't.
Okay.
I really, like, genuinely didn't know what else to do. And I know I should have called, and I didn't. Okay. And I am, like, I'm sorry, you know? Like,
Okay. Okay.
So we've been talking for a while, okay? Do you have any other questions for us?
No.
Okay. Mary, at this point, you're going to be held on a 48-hour hold, investigative hold. We'll continue to confer with the prosecutor's office to assess criminal charges against you.
For what?
It could be a couple different things, one being neglect of a dependent. Okay, but at this point...
And I deserve that, but I just, okay, I'm trying, like, I don't want to, like...
Listen to me. You've not been charged with anything yet. We still have to confer with the prosecutor's office. What I'm telling you is you're not going to be able to walk out of here. We're going to take you upstairs. You're going to be held on a 48-hour investigative hold. Okay?
I'm honestly telling you everything I can. I really am. Like, I'm
not saying you're not. What I'm telling you is the information that we have right now, we have enough to place you on a hold and to confer with the prosecutor's office for criminal charges. Okay? And once we are able to solidify some questions to them, then we'll let you know about official charges. You're not being charged right now. You're being placed on a hold, but you're not free to leave. Okay?
Can I call my lawyer, please?
Upstairs you can.
Can, like, you guys get, like, I get the number off the phone or something? Like, something? Can I get his number somehow?
Who is your lawyer?
Ryan Beal.
I can look in the yellow pages for you for sure.
Okay.
So I got an officer here. We're gonna take you into custody and walk upstairs.
I stand up.
So I'm not going to see my kid.
Not today. We'll take this card. So you have that in your property.
So if I call my lawyer, that's my one call then?
I'm not sure what their process is upstairs, to be honest with you.